And we are live. Good afternoon, teachers, and magandang hapon po, no? Hintayin ko lang ang aking co-host para sa araw na ito sa background. But anyway, good afternoon, teachers, and welcome to our stream for today. And we're glad, no, to have all of you, no, Sir Jambis with me also. Okay. Later on, he will be joining us, no, kung may class pa yata Sir Jambi later on. But anyway, magandang hapon, teachers, and welcome to our stream for today. Okay, as part as well, no, again of our August series, okay, para sa inclusive education in distance learning. Okay? At ngayon, a couple of sessions already into this series. No, I hope that we are getting no a bit more sense no at mas nabibigyang linaw pa natin lalo ang tungkol sa inclusive education. Okay? Of course, there are so many dimensions. Okay? Madami pwedeng pag-usapan, madami pwedeng sabihin, madami pwedeng gawin tungkol sa inclusive education. Pero at least this simple series no should allow you to take those steps no towards a more inclusive education. Good afternoon, Teacher Pau. Magandang gabi. Magandang hapon.
Okay, hello. So naghahang ako a bit, no?
Yes,
Hinahanap
medyo
ko
may
kanina.
delay.
Sabi ko, bakit ayaw gumalaw ng cursor natin? Oo, yan. Oo. I think it's my internet also. So good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone, to all our viewers. Yeah.
Okay, good afternoon, teachers. No, we'll
Yes, Sir
forgo na
John.
muna sa ating ano no, sa ating usual shout out. Okay, we'll do that no next some other time. But again, sa lahat po ng mga nasa audience po natin ngayon, magandang hapon and thank you for being with us today. Okay, Sir Teacher Pao no, expectations. Okay, what are you expecting from this session now in that day?
Actually, I am not a super techie person. So basically, I think this
Yan,
will
medyo nagahang si Teacher Pao, no?
really help me. No, this will oo, eh, oo. Sige.
Okay. We'll get back to that now. We'll get back to Teacher Pao no about her thoughts, okay, on our session for today, okay? And again, teachers, no, this is primarily on expanding further our understanding of ano no, inclusive education with the use of different tools naman, okay? Anong gagawin today? Ang gagawin lang natin basically is to further give you more options, okay, more tools okay, to be able to use and implement inclusive education in your classes. Okay, last time nagkaroon na tayo ng complete no accessibility features ng Google Workspace for Education. We also had accessibility features ng Microsoft Office 365. At kung hindi niyo pa nakikita yung mga sessions na yan, do check out our August series playlist. You will see no a good amount no of features of the Google Workspace for Education at ng ating Microsoft Office 365 to promote accessibility and inclusion. Ngayon, anong difference nito? We're now going to take it a little bit another notch okay, into inclusive education by giving you the tools okay, outside or in relation pa rin no? May mga tools pa rin na related sa Google Workspace at saka sa Microsoft Office 365 pero ngayon mas padadamihin pa natin okay. Pero siguro lang teachers ang warning natin okay is that never be overwhelmed okay. So yung mga tools niyo po na makikita ngayon at i-demo ng ating mga speakers today no ng ating mga sharers for today okay, please do take note of them. Okay? Tingnan niyo po kung ano dito yung mga pwedeng makatulong sa inyo. Alin dito yung mga hindi ko naman talaga masyado magagamit, I will set it aside for now. Maybe I would take note of it, pero I will not yet explore that. Okay? And don't forget that you will always have that command, no? What kind of tools you're going to use for your classes. So, hindi kailangan lahat ng mga tools ngayon ilalagay mo sa iyong Edtech playlist. Okay? Kaya nga mamaya, isa rin yun sa magiging objectives no, ng ating mga speakers for today to help you list down yung mga go-to tools mo. So, dapat tayo by now, teachers, no? Meron tayong kanya-kanyang mga Edtech playlist. Okay? Parang ano lang yan, teachers, no? Parang yung album sa inyong Spotify or playlist sa inyong mga ano no sa inyong music players, okay? So meron kayong mga playlist na lagi niyong ginagamit, okay? Na lagi niyong pinapakinggan, no, kung music yan, okay? That's exactly what an EdTech playlist is. List of tools, no, na lagi mong ginagamit for consistency, because that's actually what we want, no? We want quality of use rather than quantity of tools. Hindi to paramihan, no? Wala pong gagraduate ng first honors, okay? Sa paramihan ng tools, okay? So hindi po ito hindi po na 100 tools ang alam mo pero hindi mo nagagamit, okay? That's actually not gonna matter, okay?
Yeah.
What's going to matter is that the depth, and then the extent, okay, of your use of these tools to impact your teaching and learning process. That's what we want, okay? So, Teacher Pao, okay, okay ka na ba sa ano mo ngayon?
Parang, okay na
Yan,
ba?
okay na. Yes, okay na, Teacher Pao, okay? Kasi kanina
Okay.
parang ano parang
Robot
stop
eh,
and
no?
go, no? Stop and go yung kanina. Anyway, any thoughts, Teacher Pao, no? Expectations for this session?
Yeah, so as I've mentioned actually a while ago, no, na cut talaga ako. True yun. One should actually maintain an EdTech playlist, a go-to where kapag ka meron kang isang activity, ito na yung gagamitin mo because it actually helps not only you but the students also because you are already familiar. Alam na nila kapag ka ito yung gagawin mo, meron kang, for example, meron kang, you want to elicit info from them or thoughts from them, then you can use, for example, Padlet, mga ganon, na automatic na. Pero, that also means na pag nasa playlist mo siya, syempre aral mo din. Aral mo din siya kasi nga, hindi mo maaasa sa mga bata na sila yung mag-aral on their own. No? You also have to,
Correct.
to work on that. So, lalo na ang tools na to for accessibility and inclusion. Pag ikaw mismo hindi mo magawa yung magamit yung tool ng maayos, baka hindi rin makatulong dun sa students mo. No? So, there.
Correct, no, Teacher Pao, okay? Siyempre, mahalaga na kaya nga nakatulong din ng EdTech playlist, kasi kapag meron kang EdTech playlist, okay, ibig sabihin, you can build a sense of familiarity sa mga students mo ng tools, okay? Teachers, ang hirap na minsan nagpapalit-palit tayo ng tools every time. Like, this session, ito yung tool na gagamitin mo. Next time, ibang tool na naman, pero same lang naman talaga yung ano niya, yung purpose niya. Nakakalito po sa mga students natin yun. So, having an EdTech playlist would solidify your edtech, no, or integration of technology in your classroom, lalo na for when we're talking about accessibility and inclusion, okay? So, Teacher Pao, okay, actually, no, our speakers for today does not need, no, a very long introduction, okay? One is these are both champions, okay, of technology integration, okay? I'm really glad, no, and these are the two people that I really look up to kapag dating sa technology integration sa loob ng classroom, okay? So we have, no, our first speaker for today, no. They will be doing a tandem discussion, so we will introduce them at the same time, okay? So our first speaker for today, okay, one of our speakers for today is of course our very own Sir Jello, okay, who is actually a faculty of Xavier School, okay, and right now the tilt head, no, ng aming program sa Xavier School, which basically, no, when you say tilt head, Sir Jello is heading the programs, okay, for technology integration in Xavier School for the
Wow.
junior high school at least, okay. And of course, we also have our learning provider, no, specialist from Senko Link Technologies, okay, who are adept, no, in terms of designing technology integration, okay. Of course, na primarily for with the use of iOS devices, okay. Pero of course,
Yes.
I'm telling you, Sir Teacher Pao, no, his knowledge on technology integration go way
Yes.
beyond, no, sa tools na ginagamit niya or sa ano, no, sa iOS devices. Of course, that's his expertise, pero hindi siya nalilimitahan on this just in these devices lang, no. He can of course, no, cover a lot of grounds when it comes to technology integration. Okay, so that's going to be Sir Regan Austria. So let's welcome both of them into the stream and before they start their sessions. Okay, so just wait for them. Sir Jella, Sir Regan, good afternoon.
Yes.
Ayan,
Good
ang fresh,
afternoon,
okay?
everyone.
Oo, parang si Sir Regan, parang bumata ng 20 years old, eh, no? Long time, no? Since last time din kami nagkita. Pero, ayun naman. Sir Regan, okay, good afternoon. Sir Regan, before tayo mag-start siguro, no? Kumusta muna? How's everything going, no? In terms of your work, lalo na you're into talaga, no? Pagdating sa training ng mga teachers natin.
Thank you, Sir Franco, Teacher Pao, and Sir Jello for this opportunity. Yeah, recently, syempre we've been continuing what we've been doing even prior to the pandemic. We have been engaging teachers and schools in integrating Apple technologies into their curriculum. And just recently, we've been reaching out to small private schools, especially in the different regions, so that they would also have access to this powerful technology that we have been offering to everyone here in NCR. So tuloy-tuloy pa rin kasi at Senko, we believe that professional learning should be something that is ongoing, hindi siya one-shot deal lang, hindi siya ginaganap tuwing summer lang, kundi buong taon talaga ginagawa namin siya. And it comes in many forms, hindi lang yung training na tuturuan namin sila, paano gamitin ito, pero iba-iba ng atake. Lalo na ngayon na everything is done online.
That's I think what I agree no is that yung continuity, totoo yan, ang Senko Technologies no with Sir Regan's also no, talagang tuloy-tuloy sila nagpo-provide ng training at saka ng assistance no for teachers to be able to integrate Apple technologies at Apple technology into the curriculum and to the classroom. At napaka-powerful yan. We have a first-hand experience of that in Xavier School kasi bilang Xavier School no is ano no dominated by Apple technology. Okay?
An Apple
Um,
Distinguished School.
yes, of course, no, Apple Distinguished School ang Xavier School. That's syempre isa yan sa mga pride ng school din namin. Okay? Sir Jello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon po.
Yan.
Formal. Very
Syempre,
formal.
interview talaga eh. Anyway, so siguro Sir Jello at saka Sir Regan, no, before namin ibigay yung floor sa inyo for your entire session, is that would like to give us na siguro an overview, okay, what we're going to expect for the session for today.
Sige. Again, tulad ng sinabi ni Sir Franco at ni Miss Pau at the very beginning, when we are planning this particular session, kami ni Sir Regan parang tanong namin, ano pa bang pwede natin ibigay sa mga teachers? Because we already have tools for accessibility na Google, tools accessibility ni Microsoft. So parang doon pa lang ang dami na. And then what we will try to do is to go back first to our roots. Bakit nga ba natin ginagawa to? Ano ba yung mga challenges kaya natin iniisip na maghanap ng ways on how we'll be able to really give an accessible and inclusive education. And then, yun nga, hopefully later on, when we share tools, mas madagdagan. Okay? No, hopefully not overwhelmed, but madagdagan pa ng mga pwedeng gamitin ng teachers.
Sir, Teacher Pao, parang na starstruck tayo sa speakers natin.
Oo eh. Oo eh, as in, parang na-excite na talaga ako kung anong sasabihin nilang dalawa, ano yung i-share nila, di ba?
Any
Yes.
questions or pabaon bago natin ibigay yung floor sa ating mga speakers, or are we good? We're good to go?
Ngayon pa lang, thank you na.
Yes. No, thank you,
Thank you
maraming
na.
salamat.
Parang maaayos na natin yung Edtech playlist natin.
Yes, na ako rin magte-take note ako kasi syempre binubuo pa natin yung EdTech playlist natin. No? Okay? So again, Sir Regan and Sir Jello, no, good luck to the session. Okay, teachers, enjoy. Okay? We'll be at the chat, teachers. No, we'll be actively engaging you in the chat. So if you have questions or concerns, okay, do let us know in the chat box and we'll address your questions accordingly. Okay? So again, teachers, by the way, no, just last reminder, for those who will be asking for the evaluation link and the certificates, we'll be giving that towards the end of the session. Okay? So enjoy, teachers, and we'll see you in a while.
Okay, thank you po. Thank you again sa mga administrators ng Kagabay Teacher Support. So, siguro, Sir Regan, heads up lang natin sila na this particular session, we really try to design it in a way na gusto po namin makapag-interact sa inyo. So, your interaction, because we know that Kaagapay Teacher Support, the teachers of KTS talagang nung level ng sharing, insights, hindi lang sa chat. So, gusto po namin i-collate din yan later. So, papakita po namin mga links. May mga links po kami, invite namin kayo to access. And hopefully, you add there. Kasi, sabi nga, tulungan po tayo dito. So, Sir Regan, I'll be sharing my screen or... Okay, sige, ako po muna. Okay. i-play ko lang po ang aming presentation. Okay. So again po, good afternoon. Okay, our dear teachers. So today po, I am here and along with the great, one of the great pillars ng pagdating sa Savior technology talaga po. Ang pangalan pong Sir Regan Austria ay someone that we really look up to. So tulad sabi ni Sir Franco. So
Sobra yan, Sir Angelo. So, hindi po.
ayan. So we'll try our best again to share some more tips and some more tools for accessibility and inclusion. So, ako po ay isang Apple Learning Leader and Sir Regan is of course an Apple Professional Learning Provider. So, yes, ayan. Sir Regan?
Ayan, so this afternoon gusto namin kayong imbitahan na pumunta dito sa link na makita ninyo sa inyong screen. Yan ay bit.ly/ACCTOOLS App Tools. Lahat po yan, pareho po yan kagaya ng QR code na makita ninyo if you're using your smartphone or if you have a tablet at home. Pwede nyo scan ito para i-direct kayo sa Google Slides na inihanda namin para sa inyo. Gusto sana namin na gamitin itong Google Slides ito bilang isang live document dahil gusto namin pamaya-maya sa daloy ng ating usapan na kayo po ay mag-contribute sa ating diskusyon. Gayun din, may inihanda po kami na ilang mga simpleng mga gawain na sana po ay tulungan nyo kaming mabuo para po mabuo natin itong live document gamit ang Google Slides. So ngayon po, pwede na po ninyong puntahan ng bit.ly/apptools o kaya ay scan ang QR code na makikita sa screen.
So, I think si Sir Franco din, ibibigay nung link directly po sa YouTube, sa comment section po doon. So, para po ma-access po ninyo. Siguro po, some request lang po. May mga slides po doon na hopefully, again, will help you. But we also request na wag po natin i-edit para mas maganda po ng flow. So later po dadagdagan po natin yung buong presentation na po ito.
Tama. Magbibigay po kami ng panuto ng instructions para malaman po ninyo kung saang bahagi kayo maglalagay ng inyong mga tugon sa mga gawain. At kung handa na po kayo, pwede po siguro kayong mag-make a copy nito o kaya naman ay mag-download ng Google Slides na ito para kung gusto nyong pagtrabahuan siya offline, pwede pa rin po siya. So kung handa na Sir Jello siguro, o bigyan natin sila ng 1 minuto para i-scan, pwede po ba namin malaman sa comments section kung nakuha na ninyo, if you have gained access to this Google Slides presentation, please let us know. Give us a thumbs up o kaya naman pakisabi po via chat.
So titignan ko ng chat box, live chat natin. Yan, may mga naka-access na po. Okay na po.
Done.
Access.
Okay, done. Teacher Jello, let's give them siguro mga 30 seconds more.
Yes. Po. Yan. So, ito nga po, this is the document that we would like you to access para po madagdagan. So, tulad ng sinabi ni Sir Regan, maganda po if you want to take notes, you want to add slides diyan po sa copy nyo pong yan. Maganda po yan para ano po tayo, mas madagdagan talaga ang ating mga accessibility tools and inclusion tools para sa taon na darating na ito.
Yes. Thank you teachers para sa lahat ng mga nag-scan ng QR code at saka sa mga pumunta doon sa link na provide natin. Done na po. So perhaps we can continue Sir Jello. Umpisahan natin sa unang gawain.
Ayan. Sir
Meron kaming term dito na inilagay bilang isang central idea. Tayo po ngayon ay bubuo ng isang idea map gamit ang central idea na accessibility in Edtech. Nabanggit po ni Sir Jello na noong mga nakaraang linggo ay nagkaroon kayo ng session tungkol sa accessibility. na nakatuon sa iba't ibang mga platforms kagaya ng Microsoft o kaya naman ng Google Workspace. Ngayon, batay po sa mga input na nakuha natin mula sa mga nakaraang session, pwede po ba tayong maglagay sa slide na ito ng anumang picture o kaya ng mga related terms o related words that you can attach to this terminology, accessibility in EdTech. Yan. So, pwede po ninyong paglaruan ngayon tong slide na ito. So, we are all looking at slide number 3. Subukan natin, teachers, kung yung ginagawa natin sa classroom ay magagawa rin natin sa isang professional learning event kagaya nito. So please feel free to add an image. Pwede po kayong mag-insert dyan. Alam ko maraming mga na-master na dito yung Google Workspace. So alam na ninyo kung saan kayo mag-i-insert dyan, paano mag-insert from a Google search, kung image ang ilalagay, kaya naman just add a text.
Ayan, may mga nagsusulat na, sir.
Ayun, meron na. Thank you.
So,
yes,
kailangan
success,
ko muna
Sir Jello.
Oo, yan, may mga yung LMS, yan.
Ayan,
Salamat
okay.
po. Pwede rin po, tulad nung binanggit ni Sir Regan, isa sa mga tinuro, alam ko ni Sir Franco, is yung pag-insert ng photo, pwede rin po. So, click lang po natin ng insert, then image, then you can search already sa inyong web. Yan, pwede na po kayong magdagdag noon ng ating mga pictures. Ayan, thank you po. Yan, Learning Management System.
Yeah, let's add some more.
Oo, sana. Sige po, add lang po tayo ng add. Siguro bigyan natin sila, Sir Regan, ng mga 2 minuto.
Alright.
Yan.
So kapag narinig natin yung accessibility in EdTech, ano yung naiisip agad natin? Or if you make a Google search, ano kaya yung mga unang lalabas when you type accessibility in EdTech? Ayan.
So,
may naglagay, Sir Jello, ng refresh ko yung aking kopya. Ayan, medyo marami-rami na.
Dumadami na.
Teachers, let's collaborate and make this visually appealing para hindi matabunan yung ibang mga images.
Sige po. Siguro may mga ilan lang po na i-resize po natin para lang po, yan, ma-move natin para mas makita. Yan. Sige po, lagay lang po ng lagay.
Meron pa tayong 1 minute and 20 seconds. Haba-haba pa. Oh, may image ng aso.
May image ng aso.
May image ng araw, may image ng nakabukas na kahon, may photo ng isang laptop computer.
So, yan. Sige lang po, lagay lang po. Ilang mga 30 seconds pa po.
Alright. Meron siya ang Google Drive.
Yan. Teaching styles, may nagsulat rin. Tech tools. Yan.
Oh, ito naman ay mga mobile devices like smartphones.
Sige po. Siguro, tuloy-tuloy lang maglagay, no? Sir Regan, ng mga images pa. Kasi may isa pa ulit tayong slide.
Tama.
Oo.
Bukod dyan, gusto sana namin na makaburing tayo ng isang shared understanding tungkol sa isa pang terminology bukod sa accessibility in EdTech. Kasi ang lahat ng ito ay magko-cover sa lahat ng mga items na pag-uusapan natin ngayon. Pumunta naman tayo ngayon po, mag-pause lang tayo sa slide number 3. Pumunta po tayo ngayon lahat sa slide number 4. This time, we'd like you to define or describe the term inclusivity in EdTech. And we are also inviting you to do the same. You can add images, add text, or make a Google search. You can even add web links that you can find online. Anything that is connected to inclusivity in EdTech. Very important kasi itong mga terms na ito, no, Sir Jello, inclusivity and accessibility. Ayan, yung dalawang yan ay closely related to our session today.
Mm. Parang habang ginagawa natin to, Sir Regan, siguro share natin. Parang tayo nun nag-usap, parang hindi nga natin sila ma-distinguish minsan sa sobrang connected nila, di ba? Parang pag sinabi natin accessibility, parang kailangan nandun si inclusivity. Para
Oo.
magkasama sila.
Alin kaya
Ayan.
dito yung bigger term, alin kaya dito yung part of the other. Ayan. Hindi ko lang gaano mabasa. Inclusivity is valuing the something. How to build inclusion through Edtech. Ayan, may mga links. Pwede natin bisitahin maya-maya.
Tapos may mga images ng parang together. May
mga
Microsoft.
Brands po tayong pinapromote. Brands po tayong pinapromote. Okay lang din. Okay lang yan.
Okay lang
Kasi
din.
yung mga brands na to, nagpo-promote din ng inclusivity sa EdTech, di ba?
Kailangan po, di ba, inclusive eh. So lahat, po natin. Yan. Tapos may collaboration din, collaborative. Yan.
Gusto ko yung nagsusulat, Sir Jello, ng it's about valuing each and everyone's existence.
Yes. So, ganda nga.
Parang recognizing individuality, recognizing everyone present, or even those who are not present.
So, i-accept ko lang po ito. Thank you po. Ayan.
Equal access yan, may naglagay.
Yes, equal access. App smashing, meron din dito, sir. Sa may gilid. I-move ko lang po anong app smashing para mas makita. Yan. So, app smashing.
Gusto ko rin yung may naglagay ng inclusive teaching strategies kasi syempre inclusivity in EdTech does not only focus on the tech tools, di ba?
Yes.
Hindi lang sa devices and digital tools, pero more importantly yung how you make use of these tools, di ba? How we employ teaching strategies to make these tools more effective. Enjoy learning.
Enjoy learning, yun yan. Maganda yun, no? Yun ang sanang talagang maan natin na inclusive kasi lahat ay nagiging masaya sa pagkatuto. Yun. No child left behind. That's all
10 seconds?
All. 10 seconds po. Yan. Yan, may mga collaboration, curation, may mga dumadagdag pa. Mamaya ayusin rin natin to, no, Sir Regan, para pag gusto ulit nilang balikan, mas makita nila. Yan.
Ayan, continue lang po kayo sa pag-add dyan. But we're happy na marami sa atin ang mayroong halos magkakapareho na pagkaunawa dito sa inclusivity at saka sa accessibility in EdTech. Meron lang kaming ilang mga nabasa ni Sir Jello na gusto namin i-share sa inyo. Kaya magpapatuloy po muna tayo habang ang ilan sa inyo ay gumagawa pa dyan.
Yan, sige po. So, balikan lang po natin, sabihin natin, bago talaga natin bago kami magbigay, or bago talaga sana tayo maghanap ng mga tools, alam muna natin bakit ba natin kailangan maghanap ng tools. So, ito po, mga thoughts, I think many of them are already shared in the previous webinars that we have. Kasi nga, this whole August series is about accessibility and inclusion. Pero ito po ng mga nabasa namin. So, in general, accessibility and inclusion in education. So, base po sa Unicef, inclusive education is an educational system that includes all students and welcomes and supports them to learn whoever they are and whatever their abilities or requirements. No one should be excluded. So, yun ay galing sa UNICEF from 2017. Tapos, isa pa pong, from the UN United Nations, ito gusto ko to, Sir Regan, nung nabasa ko to. It entails recognition of the need to work towards school for all. Institution which includes everybody, celebrate differences, support learning, and respond to individual needs. So, napakaganda talaga. Panglahatan eh.
Actually, siguro nga, yan din yung isa sa naging basihan ng maraming mga brands, mga tech brands. Yung mga ibibigay natin sa kanila ngayon, yun yung mga response nila to this. Yung parang everyone has to work towards inclusivity talaga. Kaya nga sila nag-provide ng mga tools na mamaya ay share nga namin sa inyo.
Yan. So, tapusin lang natin nung dalawa pang definition na I think alam naman na marami sa atin alam kasi doon sa sharing pa lang lumabas na to, sir, no? Every child has the right to equality education and learning from UNICEF, and inclusion promotes quality and equitable education for all without exclusion, including those who may be potentially marginalized by learning need or social position. And teachers, dito po makikita nyo rin later on some of the links na pwede po nyong i-download para mas mabasa nyo pa po yung document. Yan. Pero magandang tignan, Sir Regan, dun naman sa lens o dun sa pananaw. Kasi we're talking about accessibility and inclusion in Edtech. So ano naman ang ibig sabihin nun? So siguro si Sir Regan ang mag-share sa atin.
Medyo mag-zoom in tayo ng konti about inclusivity in education. So right now, we're talking about accessible technology. At kapag binanggit natin ang accessible technology, ibig sabihin nito, yung lahat ng ginagamit natin ng mga devices o kaya mga apps, lahat ng ito ay dapat successfully magagamit ng lahat ng tao, regardless of kung taga saan ba siya, anong itsura niya, ano yung kaya niya o ano yung hindi niya kaya. Isa sa mga related terms dito kapag tayo ay gumagawa ng research tungkol dito ay assistive technology. Ito yung mga pwede itong low-tech technology, pwedeng high-tech technology. Ito yung mga devices na nakakatulong para mas maging madali para sa lahat ng mga gawain. Halimbawa, kung tayo ay nagbabasa, mas madaling magbasa. Kung tayo ay nagsusulat, ginagawa nito ay mas maging madali ang pagsusulat sa atin. So kung gusto po ninyong magbasa pa tungkol dito, pwede ninyong tingnan itong website na inilagay namin sa slide na ito. Merong isang very interesting learning framework o curriculum framework. Ito ay tinatawag na Universal Design for Learning. I think this is something related to the ones mentioned by Sir Jello kanina about learner diversity and how technology supports this regardless of, again, disability, gender, size, culture, and other factors. Ayan. So, ngayon, move na tayo dahil napag-usapan na natin na ganito ang mga accessibility features, ganito ang mga nagagawa niya sa Edtech, ganito siya nagpo-promote ng inclusivity. Mag-proceed tayo sa mga accessibility features that are common in many platforms and in several tools that we have been using already.
So, tulad nung prepare kami ni Sir Regan ito, sabi namin, magandang simulan nga talaga doon sa mga accessibility features na meron na tayo. Kasi those already addresses some of the many things. I know, I think we all agree that there are really many differently abled students. And we might not be keen to it. Baka mamaya hindi natin napapansin, medyo hirap pala sila through the vision or through hearing or through mobility and others. But here we'll try our best to focus on apat na things na baka maari nating makita sa ating mga students. So, yan.
Pero para tulungan tayo, Sir Jello, yes. Para tulungan tayo sa pag-discuss ng mga ito para hindi naman gaano mabigat yung ating discussion, meron kaming ipapagawa sa inyong challenge. Para itong scavenger hunt game. So, meron kaming pinrepare na isang shared wall. Pwede ninyo ulit na scan ang QR code na nasa screen o kaya naman ay pumunta sa link na nakasulat sa baba, bit.ly/whatteacherscando. So, in every accessibility feature that we will discuss, iisipin din natin, teachers, ano naman kaya yung pwede nating gawin as teachers. Kasi syempre, knowing is very much different to what we'll do next to these things that we know, di ba? So that's very important. Gusto natin na by the time we enter our classrooms, by the time we design our lesson plans, next time, inclusive na. O kaya naman, we take into consideration itong mga needs na ito, itong mga special needs na ito. Nagsisimulan natin, Sir Jello, sa unang um,
Ayan.
okay,
Ito ng mga features na dadaanan natin. So, ano ng mga features that would address those who may be having difficulty in their vision. Then we also have speech, hearing, and mobility, or physical. So again, alam ko marami pa, marami pa mga challenges. Okay, mga challenges na maaring hindi natin ma-feature, pero ito yung siguro mas prevalent siguro if I'm speaking that mas madali
or
natin
common.
ma-detect on common. Oo. So umpisa natin, sir. Yan, challenge 1 muna tayo.
Sige. Kung handa na kayo sa unang challenge po, tingin po tayo sa ating screen ngayon, teachers. Ang unang challenge natin is about accessibility tools that help students with visual impairment. Ngayon, kung ano man yung gamit ninyong device, kung kayo ay naka-smartphone, kayo ay naka-laptop o desktop, gusto po sana namin na mag-grab kayo ng screenshot ng kung paano mag-change ng text size o kaya ng text color sa isang document o kaya sa screen. Kung na-screenshot na po ninyo siya, punta po kayo roon sa Padlet wall na pinakita natin kanina. Paki-post po din yun ng inyong sagot. So, bigyan po namin kayo ng 3 minutes para dito. And again, ang challenge, Sir Jello, ay mag-screenshot sila
Screenshot. Yes.
para ipakita kung paano mag-change ng text size o kaya ng text color sa anumang document. Pwede yan sa Word, pwede yan sa Google Docs, pwede yan sa Pages kung gumagamit sila ng Mac, o kaya kung anumang, o pwede rin sa Notes, no? Pwede rin sa anumang app na ginagamit nyo lagi. Pwede rin sa PowerPoint o kaya sa slides na ginagamit natin ngayon. Paano ba mag-change ng text size? Paano ba mag-change ng text color? Please put your answers on the shared Padlet wall. Sir Jello, pwede natin pakita yung link ulit to the Padlet wall kanina. Then let's see kung meron ng mga sumasagot doon.
Sige. So ito po ulit nung link natin. Ayan. So, kopyahin lang po natin at ipi-paste ko po dito para makita naman natin. So, pag tinignan natin, no, Sir Regan, yung simpleng changing of size, of font size and font color can make a difference, di ba? Parang minsan sa atin, baka nami-miss out lang natin kasi gusto natin mas malaki lang, mas okay. Pero doon pa lang, meron na agad, nagpapakita na ng accessibility and inclusion.
May purpose pala yun. Hindi lang pala para pagandahin yung ating document, no? Parang madalas kasi para lang sa aesthetics eh. Yun yung tinuturo sa atin madalas sa computer class, no? If you want to make the font bigger or smaller, if you want to change the font style, ganito yung gagawin mo. Ayan, meron ng isang face na, o meron ng iba pa.
Ayan, may use immersive. Use immersive.
MS Word ang ginawa niya. Nice. Ayun,
exacto.
It's readily available. Parang sa Word din yan, ano, Sir Jello?
Oo, sa Word.
Word din yan. Meron po ba sa...
Even saan, meron din eh. Meron din mga ganitong features sa
Workspace?
Yes. Oo. So yan, sige po, dagdag lang po tayo. Ayan, Microsoft Word, may smiley face. Ayan. O yan, may mga nagpalit doon sa challenge natin ng color.
Sa mismong challenge natin.
Mismong challenge natin.
Right.
Yun. Ayan, merong gumamit ng Canvas. So, lumalabas, kita, ang dami na agad mga Edtech, tools pa lang, doon pa lang sa simpleng pag-change ng color at ng font size.
Bakit kaya naging mahalaga ito, kagaya ng binanggit natin kanina? Kasi nga, kanina binanggit ni Sir Jello na hindi lang trend, pero mas ini-encourage na kasi ngayon na isama sa mainstream yung mga bata na may challenge o difficulty sa pagtingin, halimbawa. Kasi kung pupunta tayo sa next slide natin, Sir Jello, malaman natin yung visual impairment. Siguro mahalaga rin na bigyan natin ng emphasis ito na when we talk about visual impairment, hindi necessarily ito yung mga kapwa natin na hindi talaga nakakita at all. Kasi meron ding mga learners na meron lang low vision Ibig sabihin, nakikita naman talaga nila, pero kagaya ko, halimbawa, kapag malayo, hindi ko na siya nakikita talaga. O kaya naman kapag sobrang bright, hindi ko na talaga siya nakikita. Pero meron din naman ng mga functionally blind. Yun yung mga bata na nababasa pa rin nila, pero yun nga, either malapitan or malayuan o gusto nila nakaganito yung kulay kasi hindi nila na-recognize yung different colors. O kaya naman, syempre, yung ibang grupo naman na totally blind talaga. So, siguro importante talaga na alam natin yan among our students in the class. Sino sa inyo yung nahihirapang tumingin sa screen? Sino sa inyo yung hindi nakakita ng color blue? Di ba? Pwedeng ganun eh. At nangyayari yan. At yung visual condition na ito, sa tatlong ito, can actually affect yung learner's ability to successfully accomplish the tasks. So, napakasimple, no? Yung as simple as changing the text size, changing the text color in the PowerPoint presentation that we flash on the screen can actually affect nga pala yung mga bata. Yung parang ako feeling ko as a teacher parang natapos ko yung lesson during asynchronous class, parang ang saya, tapos ko na. But did I notice any of my students having difficulty in reading or recognizing the images and the text that I have incorporated in my slides? So that's something that we should always consider. And dito sa right side ng screen natin, makita natin yung iba't iba pang mga, aside from text color, font size, Sir Jello, may iba-iba pang mga common accessibility features na meron tayo sa mga different apps.
Yes. So, isa sa mga siguro nagagamit na or mga nakita na rin natin is the screen reader, mga text-to-speech, especially kung yun nga, medyo nahihirapan mabasa dahil malabo. So, that can help. So, parang, alam ko may mga features na they hina-highlight lang ng text and then they ask, may feature na pwedeng basahin sa kanila. So, kumbaga, yun nga, it will help them already understand kaysa naman nung pinipilit natin basahin nila yung text na yon, tapos hindi naman nila naiintindihan kasi hindi naman talaga nila nahirapan sila doon. So, pero yan, mga Google Chrome add-on, mga read aloud, reader view in Safari browser. So, kung kayo pa gumagamit ng iOS, Mac yan, reader view. Then also notes and pages. Ayan po. So, may mga kung kayo po ay used to having the iOS devices, mga iPad, even your phone niya, diba, iPhone, meron rin yan, kaya rin yan. Then also, yung screen enlargement. Of course, yan ang sabi, text size, zooming in, magnifiers, those are helpful features already that helps our visually challenged students.
Then, ibig sabihin yan, Sir Jello, when we design our lessons, parang dapat mindful tayo doon sa contrast na ginagamit natin doon sa background at saka sa text mismo. Diba? Yung dark over light background or light text over dark background, dapat mindful tayo doon. And when we also add different types of media like images, videos, photos on each slide, sana hindi natin masyadong binobombard ng sobrang dami. Diba? We make sure that it's all relevant to the idea that we're presenting. At ngayon nga, merong isang interesting kang ipapakita, Sir Jello, yung isang Chrome add-on, di ba, na nakakatulong sa visually impaired na mga learners. Try nating ipakita sa kanila.
Sige, ayan. Exit lang po. Ayan. Itong feature na to, I think alam na to ng mga kaagapay natin kasi nababanggit na natin to. Itong Mote, it's an add-on na napakaganda kasi usually we use Mote for giving comments, but actually you can be very creative with Mote. So once you add po that particular add-ons or that particular extension, so kunyari may gusto tayong i-type lang na gusto natin, kunyari po hello, please click the Mote comment. So here, ang ginamit mo, pwede natin gamitin si Mote as part of our instruction. So as we give instructions already to our students, pwede natin sabihin na hindi niya na kailangan basahin. I-click nyo lang, maririnig na ninyo. I don't know kung naririnig nila. Hindi ko po alam kung narinig. Pero kung magandang po.
Parang hindi. Pero dapat may audio. No?
Oo, hindi naman siguro masyadong malakas nung audio na ano. Pero kumbaga dito sinabi ko na para sa inyong exit ticket, etong gawin ninyo. So, pwedeng gano'n na hindi na nila kailangan na isulat pa yon, babasahin pa. Pwede nating alternative, lalo na doon sa mga medyo nahirapan sa ating challenge sa kanilang vision. So, that's just one of the many tools of that we can utilize kung to address this particular feature or this particular challenge from our students. So, yon.
Sir Jello, before we move to the next accessibility feature, siguro pwede nating i-share din sa mga co-teachers natin na mahalaga when we also assign websites or web pages to the students for them to read or to conduct a research on. Maganda na pwede natin tingnan kung itong mga websites na ito ba ay nag-allow ng pag-zoom in or pag-zoom out o kaya may reader view kaya ito. Let me show you po something na related to this na example. Share screen lang po ako. Ayan. So, ay, naka-share na screen.
I'll stop sharing first. Yan. Sige, sir.
Sorry. Ayan. Okay. Let's try this out. Features.
Kasi mahalaga yun, no?
Oo, kasi di ba marami tayong pinapa-research sa kanila. Oh, I want you to find this. I want you to visit this. Browse this, ganyan. Pero madalas sa mga nakikita po pa kaya? Hindi. Not yet, no?
Sa ngayon, hindi pa, sir.
How do we do this? Okay, share. Oh,
kasi
hindi pa yata. Sir Jello, hindi ko alam kung ba't hindi siya nag-work. Share screen.
Sige, try natin isa pang beses.
One more time.
Mamaya, pag hindi pa, mamaya babalikan natin or ilalagay natin dito sa ating document din yung mga
Sige.
Pero maganda sana yun, no? Kasi para makita nila.
Yeah. I was referring to yung isang web browser, ang tawag sa kanya ay Safari, and it allows actually users to show yung reader view lang. Ibig sabihin, if you have a news website halimbawa sa screen mo, madalas dyan maraming mga ads, di ba? Maraming mga moving images, yung mga patalastas na hindi naman related dun sa sinesearch ng mga bata. So doon, only if I can demo it to you, with just one click, pwede mo siyang i-show yung reader view. Aalisin niya lahat ng mga ads. So ang matitira lang doon ay yung mismong news article na kailangan basahin ng mga estudyante mo. And apart from that, also within the Safari app, you can annotate the text while you are reading it. So it's really helpful para doon sa mga bata na hirap kapag maraming distractions on the site, di ba? When in fact, they only have to focus on the content na binibigay mo sa kanila. So, when we figure it out later, tingnan natin kung paano ito magagawa.
Sige. Ayan. So, I think meron din mga ganyang features na si Google yata at si
Chrome, parang
Microsoft.
meron sa Chrome,
pero,
no?
Meron, pero itong feature na to is for those who are using Safari as their So mamaya we'll try to check in kung paano natin pwedeng gawing immersive siya, no? Pero if you want, sir, I can try to share. I'll try. Let's try to share kung kaya. So i-share screen ko itong Safari window ko.
Go ahead, sir.
Mo lang sa akin, i-guide mo lang ako, sir, para at least natin. I don't know if nakikita na po yung parang hindi rin yata nakikita.
Oo nga parang nawala yung sharing ability.
Oo nga. sige, baka mamaya. Ayan, ito. Sige, sir.
Ayan,
bang
okay,
kailangan i-click daw?
Ayan, nasa Safari ka na, sir?
Yes, Safari po ito.
Sige, para sa example natin, pwede po ba kayong pumunta sa gmanews.tv? Ito yung classic example kasi na pinapakita ko. Dahil ang mga news websites talaga, sobrang punong-puno ng mga elements na not necessarily related to news. Pero syempre, advertisements kasi.
Ayan.
You're there?
Ayan. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, sir, pwede po kayong pumunta
Ayan, sana
sa...
nakikita na.
Ayan. Nakikita ko na ba?
Oo. Ayan, nakikita na ba? Ayan, nakikita na.
Okay, yan.
Medyo ang
Sir,
dami.
nakita mo yung
Ano ko na.
dami, no? Kasi nakagulo talaga yung mga news
Oo.
websites na yan eh. So, sir, makita mo sa address bar mo, sa taas,
Sige.
merong mga linya-linya. Pero mo i-click yun. Eto, sir, yung... Ay, ayan.
Sir, yan.
Yung ayan, pakiclick naman niya. Ayan. So, single click lang. Sige, hintayin natin mag-load. Ayan. Single click
Dapat
lang.
yata i-click ko ng news. Wait lang.
Apo, click po kayo ng isang news post.
Sige, sorry. Click natin tong news na ito. Ayan. So, with just one click.
Sir, mag-agree ka raw muna sa mga cookies niya.
Ayan.
Ayan, okay.
Ayan, yun na.
So, ano yung kinlik ni Sir Jello? That's the accessibility button dito sa ating Safari app. So, what it did is it eliminates all the unnecessary images nga and all the ads. Pero ang nangyari lang ngayon, naiwan lang yung mismong article, di ba? So, this is one accessibility feature na sobrang effective talaga dahil nga lagi tayong babad sa screen at ang gusto lang natin ay makuha yung relevant information that we need. So, that's what I was talking about. Thank you, Sir Jello. Buti successful.
Yes. Okay. Yan, sige. Okay, balik po ulit tayo sa ating presentation. So yun, napakaganda. So simple, with just one click. And I think marami sa mga tools natin, ganun na nung ano. Kasi nga, they're also thinking of how they will be able to be more inclusive. So, share screen ko lang ulit ng ating presentation, sir. Yan.
So ngayon, Sir Jello, yung next step natin after showing them some accessibility features related to vision is punta ngayon sila ngayon dun sa ating shared Padlet wall. And also, under the column vision sa ating Padlet wall, pwede po tayong maglagay dyan ngayon, teachers, ng suggestions. Ano yung pwede kong gawin ngayon sa klase ko when I design my lessons? Yan. Kung ganito pala na nalaman ko na possible na may mga bata ako sa klase ko na hirap makakita o hirap makabasa ng certain images, certain colors, ano yung mga pwede kong isama sa instructions ko? Ano yung mga pwede kong isama sa lesson design ko? Punta po tayo doon sa Padlet wall at isulat po natin doon. Maybe next time I can.
So, dito po, add lang po tayo ng...
Sa vision pa rin po tayo.
Mm-hmm. And even dito nga, Sir Regan, no, kahit dito, may mga ilang ano na, no, pwede nang maging inclusive and accessible sa mga bata because of the many ways that they can do it. So,
correct.
Sige po, add lang po tayo. Siguro bigyan natin sila, sir, ng 1 minute para mag-add ng kanilang mga plans and suggestions for the next one.
Yes, sir.
Sige po. Ayan, may nagsabi dito from Sir Locardo Magdaraog. Create a breakout room for the learners. Breakout rooms po. Ayun. So, isa sa mga pwedeng gawin para nga na matulungan din siguro yung mga challenge sa vision, 'di ba? To be with others as well. Yan, pwede yan.
Siguro yung breakout rooms can help them focus, 'di ba? Dahil nga kapag in a bigger group, baka mas hirap sila mag-focus. So, ano pa yung mga suggestions natin, teachers, about vision? Siguro doon sa mga materials na kinikreate natin, paano natin sila mas ma-enhance o mas may improve given itong vision conditions ng mga bata.
Sige, so baka sana madagdagan pa to, no? Kasi maganda nga ng working document ito. So, siguro babalikan naman natin. Yan, meron pa isa bago tayo mag-move forward. Ayan, sir. Ayan, dalawa. I can give my student individualized instruction and use focus reading, use immersive reader or read aloud tool, use
Read aloud.
infographics.
Yan. Yan, gusto ko
Yes.
yung read aloud. Hindi lang natin na, na demo pa. Pero siguro mamaya kasi baka matouch natin yung read aloud feature na pwede natin ipakita sa kanila.
Yes. Okay, sige po. So, babalikan natin ulit yan. Siguro, punta na tayo, sir, sa ating next challenge. Kasi, syempre, after vision, siguro may mga student rin tayo na nahirapan naman sila in terms of hearing clearly. So, ayan. Ito, challenge number 2. Ay, wala nang challenge number 2 yata natin. So,
Parang na-delete po yata yung ating challenge number 2.
Sige. Sige, baka mamaya itry natin i-retrieve yun sa challenge number 2.
Check
Sige,
it, sir.
pero-
Meron na pong copy natin eh.
Ayun, sige.
Challenge number 2.
So, itong challenge number 2
Okay,
is
okay.
focus on accessibility tools that help students with speech impairment naman pala.
Okay.
Medyo nahirap. Sige, sir.
Yan, meron akong backup sir.
Yan.
Ilagay ko sa ating sa ating document. Wait.
Sige po. Ayan. Ayan. Ito parang nailagay mo na yata. No? Sige, sir.
Nalagay
Ayan.
ka na ba?
Ayan. Tama ba? Ito. Open a PowerPoint, a keynote, or slide presentation. Create one slide. Use emojis. Express this thought. I am happy because I love food. Siguro to.
Because
Then
I love
post-
food, tama.
Sorry, because I
Ayan.
love food. Okay, and then post your answer on the shared Padlet. Okay, so
Ayan,
yun po.
teachers. So, pwede po kayong tumugon doon mismo sa Padlet wall natin. Pero ang gagamitin niyo po ngayon, especially if you are using a smartphone or a tablet, it's much easier. Pero I believe if you're using a laptop or a desktop, kaya rin naman ito. So this time, sasabihin niyo lang po yung I am happy because I love food. Pero you will not type it out, but instead you will use emojis to say this. And since ang accessibility feature na ito na ating i-cover ngayon is about speech impairment.
Ayan.
So,
Body language, hand signal, siguro maganda mag-antay pa tayo ng mga emoji. Ano kaya emojis ang pwede if you love food, you're happy because you love food.
Ayan.
So,
Teachers, gamitin natin yung emojis para sabihin yung I am happy because I love food. Normally, when you chat with your friends, how do you do it? Yan, bukod sa hand signals, bukod sa using your body
Body
language, or gestures, diba sa phone, meron tayong ginagamit na madalas yung emoji. How do we do it? How do you say it? Merong happy face, di ba? May smiley face sa emoji. So, yung lagay mo una, I am happy. Or pwede mo lagay mo yung meron dyang tao, happy because of food. Tapos, lagay mo next to your happy face is a food. Di ba? A drink, o kaya burger, or pizza. Tamang-tama. It's almost dinner time. Ayan.
sige. Yan medyo. Ayun, no. Oh,
Ayun, pwede. Merong GIF, no?
GIF, oo.
Pwede yan. Ayan. So we're talking about speech impairment o speech difficulty. Siyempre, hindi rin natin sigurado, hindi rin natin, unless we have a complete record of the condition sa mga bata in class, hindi natin sure if the learner is unable to produce sounds correctly or fluently, o kaya kung meron siyang problema sa boses niya, di ba? Ito yung tungkol sa speech impairment, yung mga problema sa pag-pronounce properly, yung mga nag-stutter sa class kapag nag-recite verbally, yan, yung pag-articulate ng mga ideas. Kapag hindi nila masyadong nagagawa ito, this might refer to some speech impairment as described dito sa resource na nabasa namin. And among the common accessibility features, Sir Jello, nito ay yung mga sinuggest ng mga co-teachers natin sa Padlet, yung non-verbal communication like sign language. So ito yung mga low-tech or mga hindi gumagamit ng technology at all, like gestures or non-verbal cues. Kaya mahalaga rin teachers that when we conduct our class, we are present on video mode. Kasi mahalaga nakita nila tayo, yung mga non-verbal cues natin also communicates messages to them, di ba? So maganda na lagi tayong nakikita, hindi tayo yung naka-off. Tayo mismong teacher naka-off yung videos. Dapat tayo ay laging naka-on. Ayan. Ano pa yung mga ibang mga common accessibility features dito?
Ayan, nandito rin sir nung enable users to express through images katulad ng mga binigay kanina. Kanina GIF nung
Oo,
ginamit.
galing yan ah. Hindi ko naisip yun kanina.
Oo, di ba? So drawing, pwedeng annotation din, and then of course the emojis. And then there are even applications that encourage learners to respond in activities in a varied way. So we have Seesaw, we have Keynote, we have Nearpod, Edpuzzle, Meme Generator. So these are just some applications that you can actually utilize, especially kung medyo nahirapan ang ating mga students to express themselves. Not because siguro they don't know the answer, but because maybe, di ba, may mga challenges sila on that particular.
Kaya nating paborito yan, Sir Jello, di ba? Yung Seesaw, yung
Yes.
Keynote, Nearpod. Kasi nga, hindi siya limiting. Kumbaga, when we expect our students to participate, hindi natin sila in-expect na mag-raise ng hands lang yan and then mag-unmute tapos magsasalita. Parang hindi lang yun yung way of expressing, hindi lang yun yung way of communicating to the teacher or with fellow learners. There are so many ways through these apps na binanggit natin dito sa slide na ito.
Yes.
At dahil dyan, Teacher Jello, ang ating next activity sa kanila ay bumalik doon sa ating Padlet wall. At given this speech impairment condition na dinescribe natin, ano yung mga naiisip ninyo, teachers, na pwede nyo gawin sa klase o i-incorporate sa klase ninyo para hindi sa lahat ng pagkakataon ay kailangan magsalita ng mga bata? And let's browse through their answers, Sir Jello.
Okay. So far ang
speech
dami.
pa lang tayo, teachers.
Speech,
Sa speech pa lang tayo.
si hearing dapat nasa speech, pero ayan dumami na. So ngayon na-access na ng mga
Ayun,
so,
gusto ko itong may emoji yun, look ko. I'm happy because I love food, di ba? May tawag dito may tawag sa ganitong way of communication.
Grabe. So, ayun, ang very creative ng mga teachers talaga natin, Sir Regan, So, ang daming pwedeng gawin na hindi lang kailangan ng for us to ask our students to just speak up and then yun na lang ng pwede. So, ang daming pwedeng gawin. Siguro habang naglalagay sila dito, Sir Regan, pakita ko lang, for example, kasi isa sa mga favorite natin, or me personally, favorite ko talaga, is itong Seesaw. And when you have an account, this is like a learning management system din. But here, pwede siyang gamitan. So you just click the add, and then for example, we want our student to post their work or their answers. Ang dami na pwedeng gamitin. So they can just click a photo to explain their work if you want them to share, for example, something that lightens them up siguro. So they can have that. They can also draw. Pwede rin silang magsalita. Pwede rin silang gumamit ng text. They can even have themselves video or a video of one. Kung meron na silang mga files, they can upload it. They can also write down through notes and even link kung may mga link man na gusto sila. So, ang daming possibilities dito pa lang sa application na to. Marami na tayong pwedeng magamit on this one.
Yes, at ang Seesaw ay merong web version and it's also available on iOS and Android. So lahat ng platforms ay covered yan. And kahit na naka-smartphone lang yung bata, madali rin siya maka-respond sa mga activities ninyo. In fact, itong Seesaw ay very popular among the early grades from kinder to grade 3 or kinder to grade 2. Alam ko sa mga partner schools namin, puro naka-Seesaw sila lahat because nga they would like to encourage different modes of communication, hindi lang laging pasalita, hindi lang laging pasulat, marami pang ibang mga ways kagaya nito. So,
Ayan, tas may
very good sa CISO, no?
may tanong dito, nakita ko lang sa may chat box. May bayad po ba ito? Ang magandang ano po nito is wala po siyang bayad. Actually, you can use it for free. Siyempre, kung gusto niyo ng mas powerful, may mga ilang features kasi na exclusive if the school provided that. Kung meron silang CISO for schools kasi. Pero
Yes.
the CISO itself, libre po siya. Pwede nyo pong gamitin. And this particular feature is already available. So, dun pa lang po, napakadami na natin pwedeng gamitin.
Sa free version, accessible na yung lahat ng pinakita ni Sir Jello kanina. Doon lang sa premium account kasi, syempre yung number of students, yan, at saka yung iba pang mga premium features, doon lang siya ma-unlock. Pero yung libre, pwede na po ninyong gamitin.
Okay. Yan. So, again, ito po. May mga nagdagdag na dito.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ayan, kasi alam mo, natandaan ko, Teacher Jello, even when I was still in the classroom, talagang manonotice mo may mga bata na hindi lang sa mahiyain, kung hindi, meron talaga silang difficulty in pronunciation o kaya even in communicating their thoughts lang talaga verbally, hindi talaga yun yung forte nila. But when you ask them to draw, when you ask them to collect pictures and create a story, sobrang ganda. So, yun yung mga dapat natin consider. So, next, Teacher Jello, pwede tayo pumunta sa challenge number 3 na natabunan ulit.
Challenge number 3. Di po, papaliitin ko lang po ng picture ng plant. Yan. Pwede naman po. Ayan. Okay. Ito gusto ko itong challenge ito sir. Kasi nung na-discover ko to, sabi ko, wow, it's aha moment talaga.
Aha moment.
Oo, aha moment. Ayan. Sige,
para sa challenge number 3, ang gagawin ninyo ay, ayan, pupunta lang po kayo sa YouTube. So kung may YouTube app po kayo, paki-open po yan. Kung hindi naman, punta kayo sa browser at punta kayo sa youtube.com. Papahanap lang namin sa inyo ni Sir Jello ngayon kung nasaan dyan sa YouTube yung accessibility feature that will allow you to put captions on the videos. Kasi di ba tayo madalas manood ng mga vlogs? O kaya naman, minsan kapag foreigner yung mga vlogger, di ba, na pinapanood natin, may mga different accent na hirap tayo, halimbawa as Filipinos, na intindihin. So tingnan po natin yung kung ano yung mga isasagutin niyo. Paki-screenshot po kung nasaan sa YouTube yung accessibility feature for putting caption on videos. Merong tanong, Sir Jello, while they're working on it, sa ating comment about CISO, if it is safe.
Ayan.
Kahit walang account.
Is it safe? Po. Actually po, mas maganda po kung ito ay under ng kasi pwede siya i-link actually, Sir Regan. Sa school namin, or sa Xavier, nakalink siya doon sa aming Google accounts. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga ni-invite rin namin ng mga bata, those also have Google accounts. And then, since nasa isang domain lang kami, very safe po siya. And also, there are features, kung sakali naman po na wala kayong domain at gusto nyo silang isali, may mga ilan lang pong ipapa-remind si CISO. Like for example is the QR code. Madalas po pag may mga nag-represent about CISO, they don't usually just share the QR code of a particular class. Kasi yun nga po, madali siyang ma-access. So kailangan lang po talaga maingat tayo on how we'll be able to disseminate that. Pero once you are there, very safe naman po siya kasi magkakasama po ng mga bata, and even you can even connect the parents actually para nakikita rin ng mga parents yung ginagawa ng mga bata. So in this particular way po, pwede po nating gawin tong safe. So yun na po talaga, medyo kailangan maingat lang on how you would like the CISO class to be done in your class. So very, very careful lang po talaga tayo. Kailangan ng account.
Go ahead, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Di ba tama,
kailangan,
yung mga binanggit mo? yung CISO, kapag nag-enroll yung mga bata, merong, di ba, either a QR code nga, which you are not
Yes.
supposed to publish publicly, di ba? Pero,
Yes.
pwede mo siyang i-disseminate via email through the parents.
Yes.
Tapos, pwede mo rin pong actually palitan yung enrollment code doon kasi nare-refresh siya.
Yes.
Para the next time na sabi mo may next batch of students who were not able to enroll previously pero you're giving them the opportunity to enroll this time. So, pwede mong palitan yon para na-update mo yung PIN, yung enrollment code doon. So, such way, meron siyang security feature. Tingnan natin,
Yes.
Sir Jello,
Tama.
yung mga sagot nila.
Ito na, yan na. Meron ng
Sa
mga,
challenge number. Ayan,
i-click
meron
ko
na.
siguro ito. Oo. Sana
Sige.
lumabas sa'yo. Meron na.
Ayun, yung may arrow.
Ito, binilugan.
Binlugan, ayan. So, ako, pareho tayo eh. Hindi ko to alam dati na may ganito pala. Tapos, di ba, sa Netflix, kasi sanay ako na merong subtitle. Kasi nga, hirap din ako makaintindi ng may slang na, na English. So, binabasa ko talaga siya. So, I didn't know previously that YouTube also has the same. So, this is something na pwede nating gawin. Pero,
Yes.
Teacher Jello, kung gumagamit sila ng iPad naman, sa totoo lang, pwede mo ring, or ng iPhone, pwede mo ring i-on ito eh. Ang tawag dito ay closed captioning. As long as, halimbawa sa YouTube or sa Netflix ay available yung feature na yon, if you're using an iPadOS device, pwede mong i-on ito dun sa settings, accessibility. At hindi lang yan, Sir Jello, yung binanggit, i-share mo sa akin, na aha moment naman din for me, another aha moment for me, ay yung sa YouTube pa rin, it's about transcript.
Yes, transcript. So, kasi 'di ba madalas, sir, yun nga pag nanonood tayo, so magandang meron ng closed captioning na masusundan agad natin nung sinasabi. Pero kung gusto mo pa talagang mas maintindihan kasi minsan sa sobrang bilis depende minsan sa mga nagsasalita sa sobrang bilis. So, pwede rin natin makita mismo nung mga words and i-translate yun na transcript. So, punta lang po kayo again sa YouTube, itong 3 dots na to. Ayan po, you can just open the transcript and once you open the transcript, ayan po, makikita na po natin. So may mga timestamp na nga po yan kung ano nung gusto niyang sabihin and even yung kung ano sinabi niya. But you can actually take off the timestamp. Yung toggle the timestamp lang yan. Pwede nyo na pong basahin siya as is. Tapos pwede nyo rin, alam ko pwede rin siyang ako ginagawa ko dito minsan para mas mabasa ko siya, minsan kina-copy paste ko siya. Of course, we just have to make sure that we acknowledge yung source natin. Pero isa pa, sir, siguro na na in addition to the closed captioning, yes, you can do that, di ba? Parang po. Pero meron siyang auto-generated kasi. And madalas English. Pero kung sakaling iba naman yung nanonood or may ibang language sila, so you can just click this one. Ayan po. Then auto-translate and then you can just choose the country. Of course, we don't know how accurate it is, but hopefully, di ba, close to accurate naman siya. So, pwede.
May Filipino
pero,
ba dyan, sir?
Yun nga rin yung hinahanap ko, pero parang wala yata, hindi pa yata. So, baka naman, Sir Franco, baka naman.
Google, since may Cebuano and Tagalog na sa
Filipino pala,
Filipino, ayan. Wow, buti na lang Filipino
Ayan.
bilang buwan ng wika ngayon, di ba?
Ayan,
Buti
walang
na lang
mali
Filipino ang nakalagay at hindi Tagalog.
Oo, yun nga. Okay. So, eto, there's nothing wrong. Ang sabi, walang mali sa. Okay. So, hindi ko lang po itutuloy yun. Pero, kumbaga, meron.
Oo nga, no? May translation talaga.
May translation.
Uy, grabe. Galing naman. So, we are talking about these accommodations that this app, particularly YouTube, is providing for students with hearing impairment or hearing difficulty. So, sa nabasa natin, Teacher Jello, yung mga types of learners na ganito, madalas mas preferred nga nila na nakikita din yung naririnig nila. Kasi nga hindi pwede kasi na hindi completely clear sa kanila yung naririnig nila no. Actually ako may ganun ako Kaya gusto ko yung nakikita ko rin siya. So when we design our learning materials next time, teachers, it's also important that we provide text along with some narration or voiceover if not being
Yes.
said live on in a synchronous class, or even when we record ourselves, when we make videos of ourselves for the class, may nakikita na silang picture, may nakita silang subtitle, tapos klaro pa nating binabanggit yung content. Yun yung mas makatutulong sa ating mga bata, kasi nga syempre yung hearing loss daw can cause delay in receiving learning materials. Akala natin it's enough na oh, it's already in Google Drive, just download it. Kung hindi mo na download yun, problema nyo yun, ganyan. Dahil sa sobrang dami natin gustong i-cover. But again, we have to be very mindful about it. That the next time that you upload a material on Google Drive, you make sure that meron siyang audio, meron din siyang visual um, element na makikita ng mga bata. So,
Yes.
Teacher Jello, para mag-move tayo, time check is 6:31. Pwede siguro silang bumalik ngayon ulit sa sa Padlet wall natin, teachers, and please go to hearing column, and please let us know ano yung mga plan ninyo sa mga lesson design niyo next time, para naman yung mga students with hearing difficulty ay ma-accommodate natin.
Yan.
Aside
So,
from subtitle.
ayan, may mga nag-setting subtitles. Tama. Galing. Pero ako, Sir Regan, i-second ko lang nung sinabi mo kanina. Kasi minsan hindi natin naiisip. Kasi, of course, siguro sanay tayo na may video naman, malinaw naman sa video eh. Pero minsan, that can also give us a way for us to not only differentiate nung modality, but also pang low tech, 'di ba? Pang low bandwidth na way. So minsan kasi may mga video, tapos pag hindi gano'n kalakas ang internet mo, so wala rin, hindi mo rin mapanood. But when you have that transcript, or when you have that way of them to read it, mas makakatulong sa kanila.
Alam mo, Sir Jello, since mas Zoom ako, yung ginagamit namin sa mga learning events namin ay Zoom, I also found out that Zoom also has these accessibility features. Pwede ka rin actually maglagay ng caption doon sa mga meetings ninyo. Kasi nga, again, gaya ng sinabi mo, not everyone has good internet connection, a strong internet connection. So, yung Zoom din it can also generate a transcript of your meeting. So habang nag-uusap kayo, after that, pwede silang masendan ng kopya ng transcript, para yung mga hindi masyadong narinig o biglang naputol yung internet connection can still have access to the information you had during the meeting.
Ayun. Share ko lang din to, Sir Regan, dito sabi ni Sir Franco sa comments, when you're watching video via Google Drive, you can turn on closed captioning in your Google Chrome. Ayan. So, pa talaga nung ano. So, ang daming ways talaga, no? So, ayan.
Correct.
Siguro, we can proceed to the next one, to the last challenge that we have for now. Pero kasi meron tayong final babaon sa kanila later, pero mamaya natin yun eh. Yan.
Challenge number 4 natin, Sir Jello.
Yan, challenge number 4. Ito naman, since we already have the vision, those mga challenge sa vision, those sa speech, dun sa hearing, isa rin siguro na kailangan din natin tignan ay yung mga challenge naman in mobility, having difficulty in mobility. So, our challenge for you, our dear teachers, is to go to Google search. Take a screenshot of the feature that enables you to conduct a search using your voice. And then post your answer on the shared Padlet wall under mobility.
Ayan, parang perfect nila to kasi mga Google certified educators to.
Marami dito.
ATS, co-teachers natin eh. Let's see. Actually, meron na nga silang answer, Sir Jello.
Sige, babalikan natin nung
So we're talking about mobility. Mobility, Sir Jello. So ito yung mga learners with challenges related to movement, challenges related to posture, grasping, yan sa kamay nila. Some students may have challenges in manipulating objects, yung even sa sa keyboarding, skills nila. Baka, meron ding mga bata na hirap dyan. Some learners may also have problems with their reflex movements. So, yung mga available technologies that we've been using, mga apps ngayon, ay meron actually mga accessibility features kagaya ng challenge na pinapagawa namin sa inyo ngayon.
Yes. Mamaya balikan natin, sir. Kasi meron na nakakuha. Nakita ko na, sir. Pero ito, yun nga, ano ng mga common features naman na for mobility. Ito, I don't know kung madalas mo itong ginagamit, sir, si Siri, no, to help kung may makailangan ka. Or si Alexa yata sa Google. Eh. I don't know sa Microsoft kung meron silang name other than that. Pero ako naalala ko noon kung nung ginamit ko si Siri noon, pati ng mga anak ko gusto nang gamitin si Siri. Tuwa sila sa no. Pero very helpful siya kasi kumbaga especially if you are having difficulty nga with movements or nangyari masakit ng mga kamay kasi hindi naman ibig sabihin na lang physically challenge ka lang but maybe may mga pag masakit na ng mga kamay natin dahil sa kakatrabaho minsan, di ba? Meron yan. And then, also, nung uso ngayon sa mga phones yata, di ba? I don't know with the iPad as well. I don't know with the other. Sana meron to, no? Mga thumbprint access para mapasok nila yung mga devices nila and even the Face ID. Yun. Tapos, dictation, of course, sa Pages, sa Google Docs, the voice typing, mamaya papakita natin yan. Si YouTube, of course, Chrome, Google Search. And then, assistive touch, haptic touch, touch accommodation sa iPad.
Yes, at tamang-tama binanggit ni Nig na pwede palang i-customize ang style sa accessibility setting ng iPad. Only if I can share my iPad screen, I can show you all the accessibility features of the iPad. Lahat yan, sa mobility, sa vision, sa hearing, lahat yan ay tinitake into consideration ng technology na ito. And I'm very sure that Google and the other platforms are doing the same. Sir Jello, pwede natin pakita sa kanila, bago natin pakita yon sa iPad din, merong assistive touch. Ano ba yung purpose doon? Para nga doon sa mga hirap sa pag-grasp ng phone nila, or nahihirapang mag-navigate sa screen. Yan, yung haptic touch, yung gaano katagal ka magdidiin doon sa screen mo to execute a command o kaya yung mga iba pang mga touch accommodations nga sa iPad. Pwede yun, yung ilang seconds, ito mangyayari. Ang totoo niyan, if you're, I may sound like I'm promoting the iPhone so much, but ang totoo niyan, there is an accessibility feature here on the iPhone that when you do a double tap at the back of your iPhone, meron siyang command na gagawin. Halimbawa, sinet ko sa aking phone na when I do a double tap at the back of my phone, pupunta siya sa home screen. Or if I do a triple tap at the back of my phone, pupunta siya sa halimbawa sa isang particular app. Pwede mong i-customize na ganun. Kasi nga, the technology is helping you to make your life easier. Kasi nga, yun naman yung tungkol sa accessibility in Edtech, di ba? Gusto niya na tulungan yung mga tao to accomplish things successfully at the easiest, fastest time possible. Ayan, tingnan natin yung mga...
Sige. Bago ko tignan to, Sir Regan, I think, hopefully, no, kung may mga interested po, parang nangangamoy na po to, another webinar, no? Parang about mga gumagamit ng mga iPhone and iPad, yung mga interested, pwede nyo pong sabihan kami sa KTS. At hopefully, di ba, I think Sir Regan is very much interested in sharing that kasi napakadami. So, para ma-maximize po talaga natin yung mga technology that we already have. Ayan. So, tignan natin, sir, no? Sa Padlet natin. Ito yata no sa assignment natin. Ito nung ginawa. Ayan. This one.
Okay. Yan yung parang voice command, no?
Yes.
Parang similar to using Siri or Alexa. So, voice command when you say something like open Google, then you open niya yung Google. Yung assignment natin kanina, yung challenge is about doing a Google search using your voice.
Yes. Ayan. Ito siguro, sir, pakita ko lang since nakuha na ng ating mga ito yon. So tamang-tama po yan sa search ninyo. But also, again, ito, alam ko pinakita na to last time. Sa Google Docs, kunyari may gusto kayong at you are keen in speaking. Kailangan lang po siguro malinaw ng pagkakasabi natin. But when you go to tools and you click the voice typing, okay, and then just click this to speak. And I hope, for example, I'm explaining something. Ayan, nakukuha naman po niya.
Perfect diction daw, sir.
Oo,
Perfect pronunciation.
perfect pronunciation ba? Sana nga, di ba? Pero ang
Pati
natutuwa
Filipino.
ko dito, sir, is that when you speak, parang meron siyang braille. I don't know kung nakikita ng mga natin yan. Parang may
Yes,
braille, di
yes.
ba?
Mhm.
Nakaka-amaze. I don't know how it will be translated, pero this is another feature that maybe we can look into.
Perfect. Kung if you are a Mac user, then there is a dictation feature similar to this one. Even if you're
Saan
using
naman yan,
product,
sir?
ayun, pwede kayong
Para
punta sa pages, sir.
makita natin.
Mag-open tayo
Oo.
ng isang offline na app, sir.
Ano? Pages. Sige. Sige. Yan. Para naman hindi puro online kasi siya features natin na this particular features are not just exclusive dahil siya, online siya. So, may mga
Yes.
rin tayo na talagang pwede naman natin gamitin offline.
May
Ayan,
offline
sige po.
tools din na
I'm
merong
still-
accessibility features. Sige,
Yes.
open po tayo ng isang
Okay,
pages
so-
document. Features, ang pages ay counterpart ng MS Word. Counterpart
Yes.
din ng Google Docs.
Yan. Opo. So parang we're introducing ba that's yung mga another options. So sakali naman po kayo
Gradually,
gumagamit
yes.
kayo ng diba? Ng Mac,
Just in
ng
case.
iOS. Yes, just in case yan. So ito po
Or-
another
Or
feature.
baka naman kasi, Sir Jello, naka-iPhone sila pero hindi nila alam na yung
Ayun,
iPhone pala,
oo.
maraming mga education.
Yun nga. So sige, i-stop
resources.
sharing ko muna
Oh.
to, sir, para i-share ko yung ating sige, still opening pa. Pero
Pages.
I'm
Ako-
opening it.
I have
Sige,
already
sir.
enabled my sharing, sir, pero the thing is I have to leave the studio and go back daw.
Ay, sige, baka, pero, ayan, share natin, window, ayan, ito. Ayan, sir, nakikita po ba? Hopefully, nakikita. Ayan.
Yes.
Okay.
So, naka-pages
Yes.
document na kayo, sir. So,
Yes po.
i-demo natin sa kanila ay yung ginawa mo kanina sa Google Docs, di ba? Anong
Yes.
tawag sa Google Docs doon?
Voice typing.
Voice typing.
Voice
Ayan.
typing, yes.
So dito naman sa pages na nasa Mac OS, ang tawag dyan ay dictation. Ganun lang kasimple. So you go to edit, sir. Go to edit and then start dictation.
Yun, start dictation, function lang pala. No?
Oo.
Yan. So, clinic ko na yan.
Edit.
Okay.
Try mo nga, sir.
Sige. Hopefully, gumana po siya. Ayan na. Hello, everyone. I hope that you are doing well tonight.
Perfect.
Ayun.
Perfect,
Hopefully,
sir.
nakuha po. Pero nagaganda, gusto ko na nag-edit rin siya.
One editing.
So, ang challenge lang siguro dito, sir, is that, kapag Filipino, siguro baka hindi masyado pa ng Pero, I hope nakikita nila nung yung feature na yon. Yun. So, kung meron po kayong mga iPhone at you have pages in your iPhone, pwede nyo pong gamitin to.
Actually nga po, sir, kahit sa notes lang, if you have the notes app on your iPhone, tapos kailangan mo ng quick note-taking, pwede mong start dictation na lang para hindi ka na magsusulat. Halimbawa, nasa supermarket ka o nasa grocery ka, tapos kailangan mong tandaan itong mga to, ganyan, you're giving directions or instructions, then start dictation ka na lang. That works the same in the other apps that the iPadOS and iOS support. Pwede sa macOS din pala. Ayan, so balik tayo sa Padlet World nila, Teacher Jello. Ngayon naman, since we have covered mobility, accessibility features, ayan, ano kaya yung mga pwede nating i-include sa ating lesson design next time para naman yung mga bata na uh, may need dito physically ay ma-accommodate natin.
Sige po. Dali lang, sir. Share ko lang ulit ng screen natin. Window. There, ayan. Hopefully, nakikita na po ba yung screen? Ayun. Okay. So, dun tayo sa challenge, sir. Tama po ba? Sa challenge nila.
Kasi tingnan natin yung challenge nila under mobility. Tapos kung if they can think of more ways of accommodating learners with mobility difficulty, paano kaya yung gagawin natin sa mga lesson plans natin?
Ito meron sinabi si Sir Locardo, organizing bookmarks.
Ayan, pwede yung pag-organize ng bookmarks para it's easier to retrieve mga relevant resources on the web. Pwede rin yan.
Yes.
Actually,
ano pa kaya?
Actually, Teacher Jello, yung paggamit natin ng QR code is a mobility accessibility feature kasi hindi mo na kailangan i-type pa yung sobrang haba na URL. Instead, all you have to do is to scan the QR code and then it will direct you to the website already.
Yes. Ayun nga, meron parang kanina may nagtanong paano daw nung paggawa ng mga QR code.
Right. Maraming mga QR code generator sa web na libre. Ang ginamit ko po kanina ay QR code generator. Yun po yung tawag sa kanya.
Yun ang madaling ano nun. So, parang tama ba, di ba, sir, like anong URL lang niya ilalagay mo doon. Yes. And then, once you are there, generate code. So, tignan natin habang nag-antay pa tayo ng mga sagot nila. QR code generator. Ayun, QR code generator. So, napakadali, libre po to. Libre po, pwede po kayong gumamit nito. At yun nga, with just a scan, kasi nga, syempre, for those who might have difficulty in mobility, nahirapan mag-ano. So, pwede po. So, kunyari, yes. So, ayan, pwedeng URL, pwedeng text nga, sir, di ba? Pwede rin. Or kung ano man yung mga ano. So, just put it here. So, mag-example po tayo to. Let's see, GMA News na lang po nung gagamitin ko. So, lagay lang po natin dito. Yan. Ito na lang, itong ating what teachers can do. Ayan, meron na akong QR code. So, tapos the-download lang yan, no, sir? As a JPEG or vector.
JPEG or PNG.
Pwede na po siyang gamitin. So, napakadali po nito. Very, very accessible.
And ang maganda rin sa mga devices ngayon, particularly sa mga, hindi lang sa iPhone or iPad, sa mga smartphone ngayon, alam ko yung mga camera natin ay mga QR code reader na rin.
Yes.
So as long as you're connected to the internet, if you have a Wi-Fi, connected to the Wi-Fi, when you when you point your camera to the QR code, it will bring you to the link instantly.
Sa mga sir, parang ginagamit yun madalas sa, I don't know, sa ibang mga malls kasi di ba pag to gather the information for tracing, di ba po?
Contact tracing.
Contact tracing dati, sulat-sulat. Ngayon, you just have to scan and then that's it. Pwede na
So, mobility feature po yun.
Yes.
Para hindi na kailangan mag-type lahat. Ang totoo niyan, vision feature din siya kasi nga kapag di mo mabasa yung URL o yung address na sobrang haba or gulong-gulo ka na sa dami ng mga websites na gusto pag-logingan sa atin ng mga supermarket, ng mga mall, mga drugstores, diba? Bawat pupuntahan mo, iba no? So, if you have your camera with you, that can serve as your QR code scanner already. So, that's a mobility feature, at the same time, a vision accessibility feature.
So, siguro sir, ayan, na-touch natin. Again, our dear teachers, we know that hindi naman, meron pa mga ibang mga siguro na hindi pa natin na-touch. But, for now, siguro, ito siguro kasama rin to sa exploration natin na if there are other challenges that our students might have been experiencing, pwede natin tingnan ano kaya yung mga features na pwede natin i-utilize para ma-address yung needs na yun. Kasi parati naman po ganun eh. If we see the need, if we see our goal, and then yung po nung mag-drive sa atin with our tools. And now we'll try to look into yung mga tools or apps that promote accessibility.
Mhm.
Yan.
So,
yan.
kinategorize
Sir?
natin, Sir Jello, into different groups yung mga apps natin para lang when we create our playlist, when we create our toolbox, nakakategorize siya. Ano lang ba yung kailangan ko talaga? Ito yung, ano mo tawag dito? Parang graphic organizer natin. So una, may productivity tools, may creativity tools, may classroom response systems, may mga online classrooms, isama na natin dyan yung mga LMS, whether paid or free ha. Tapos syempre yung mga Google extensions na kahit na iPhone user ka or Mac user ka, talagang sobrang ano pa rin to, sobrang helpful na mga Google extensions. Let's do this first.
Yeah.
Let's go to productivity tools.
Yan, sa productivity tools, Sir Regan, of course, we have the MS Office. Hindi po namin inuna ng MS Office kasi Microsoft po nung inano. Pero again, these are all MS Office. We have the Pages, the Keynote, and the numbers for iWorks. And then, of course, the Google Workspace, the Google Docs, Slides, and Sheets. So dito pa lang po, marami na tayong pwedeng gamitin. Although, marami pa. I think, Sir, again, the notes of iPhone or the iPad is actually a good productivity tool. And meron pa mga features din na iba ng mga Google Workspace like the notes. They also have, I think, notes kung tama ano ko. Yun, marami yun.
At meron itong mga accessibility features na hindi natin madalas na-highlight when we design our lessons. Pero sa totoo lang, again, after this session, hopefully, lahat tayo laging i-take into consideration this accessibility features. And one of which, yung pinaka-simple and common ay yung keyboard natin. Dito sa mga productivity apps na to, when you open Word, when you open Google Docs, when you open Pages or Keynote, to create a presentation, yung keyboard yung agad lilitaw sa iyo, no? Makita ninyo meron siyang predictive text. Meron diyang mga kagaya ginamit natin kanina mga emojis. Tapos pwede mo nang i-enable agad diyan yung dictation. Sa iPad, kapag inopen mo yung Word o kaya yung Pages, Keynote or PowerPoint, tapos kapag lumitaw yung keyboard mo, makita mo, part of the keyboard is a microphone. When you tap that will allow you to dictate, kagaya yung demonstrate natin kanina. Pero, another important part of it is that when you start typing, pag naka-on yung prediction, nagsasuggest siya ng mga words. Kasi nga, may mga bata na hirap sa spelling, di ba? Hirap sa mga punctuation. So, meron siyang mga recommendation agad doon na when you tap it, madali na lang siya may insert doon sa document mismo. Hindi namin masyadong tinakal yung mga baka kasi masyadong specialized na like yung dyslexia, yung mga learners with reading difficulty, yung dysgraphia, yung mga hirap naman sa writing o kaya yung mga hirap sa math skills nila, dyscalculia raw ang tawag dito. Hindi namin yun masyadong tinash kasi baka kailangan na ng ibang mas special intervention dun sa mga difficulties na yun.
Teachers feel free also to add on. Sa alam ko maraming mga teachers natin na gumagamit na nitong mga productivity tools or any tools that they have been using. So add lang po kayo sa comment section kasi later pwede natin gamitin yan para dun sa pagbuo natin ng ating playlist.
Sir Jello, may nagtatanong tungkol sa QR code for Google Form. Oo naman, dahil as long as may web address yung inyong material, like Google Forms, nag-generate yan ng address, di ba? Tapos mahaba siya madalas. So yun, kagaya ng dinemonstrate ni Sir Jello kanina, you just go to any free QR code generator, just copy-paste yung URL o yung website address ng Google Form ninyo, then mag-generate siya ng QR code.
Meron din sinabi si Sir Franco dito na You can go to Google Form, preview, click the Omnibox, click window icon. So those are other ways para magkaroon po tayo ng QR code or
Mm.
maka-generate tayo ng QR code.
And
Yan.
going back to the productivity tools na binabanggit natin kanina, again, within these tools, like sa Word, Pages, sa Docs, meron siyang spoken text, pinakita natin kanina, speech to text, pinakita rin natin kanina. So, lahat ng ito, regardless of the device and platform, merong zoom in, zoom out, you can change the text size, font colors. Again, mga simpleng mga accessibility features po kasi ito, pero hindi natin gaanong na-highlight sa ating mga lesson plans if we are prioritizing inclusivity ha. Since iyan ang tema natin ngayon.
Tama. So minsan kailangan lang nating sir, be mindful and purposeful on these particular features, and we will be able to help already our challenge students in those areas.
Although Sir Jello, may I just mention na when we do this, hindi naman natin kailangan sabihin sa klase na ginawa pa to para doon sa mga hirap makarinig, para doon sa hirap magsulat o hirap magbasa. Hindi natin yun kailangan gawin. Instead, we're doing it kasi nga gusto nating maging inclusive para sa lahat. Kumbaga, pantay-pantay. Yung parang kanina doon sa ating web, meron tayong nakita ron na equal access ba? O equity, parang gano'n yung nilagay nila term doon.
Tama,
aside from productivity tools, sir.
Yan, productivity tools. Aside from that, of course, we have the creativity tools. And here, ito po, very simple ng mga nilagay natin dito na minsan maari nang makatulong sa ating mga students, sa ating mga learners. Of course, the photos and camera. So, in those studio, madalas baka minsan hindi lang natin na papansin yun, but we can actually be very creative with the use of photos, cameras. Of course, you have the movie editing tools. You have also the audio recording and editing tools.
Mm-hmm. At dito sa mga tools na to for creativity, again, if we will put emphasis on accessibility and inclusion, kung inisip natin yung mga batang hirap nga makakita, alam nyo yung even sa mga print resources, 'di ba? Alam ko yung ibang mga kaguro natin ay gumagamit ng mga print modules, no. Minsan hindi gaanong malaki yung font size o kaya naman hindi malinaw, no. They can actually make use of their camera either to scan yun para makakreate sila ng electronic copy, tapos pwede nilang i-enhance yung electronic copy nila para they can generate a clearer copy of your print module. So that's one way of doing it. They can also create PDF files actually with a camera. If you're using halimbawa a smartphone or an iPad, pwede po yun, no? At again, kung ayaw naman nilang gumawa ng ganun, pwede nilang gamitin yung camera as simple as sa function ng pag-magnify para palakihin, makita nila. Ako ginagawa ko to yung hindi ko pa masyado makita. Yun, mas nakikita ko sa screen kaysa doon. And also yung binanggit ni Sir Jello kanina.
Yun. So again, very simple tools that we can actually tap on, and sometimes hindi lang dun sa function na to take a photo or even yung camera nga, di ba? Pwede i-magnify natin yung para mas makita natin, mas maging malinaw yung mga text or mga things na kailangan natin basahin.
Yes.
So next po, aside sa we already have the productivity, we have already the creativity. Of course, we have the classroom response system. And here
favorite ng lahat.
Yes, Edpuzzle. Diba? Parang nagkaroon lang sila ng talk kahapon. Again, I don't know how pang ilan na ng Edpuzzle yun. So, Edpuzzle is one of the most known sa atin na classroom response system. Of course, you have the flip grid. Later, tingnan natin kung pwede natin ipakita yon. Of course, the Kahoot, the Mentimeter, nakita natin yon. Socrative, you have the Padlet, the Plickers, Nearpod, Peer Deck.
Bakit helpful to mga classroom response systems natin for learners with special needs, Teacher Jello? Dahil itong mga apps na to usually ay merong very simple user interface. Ibig sabihin nito, teachers, when you open the app, alam mo agad kung ano yung pipindutin mo. Diba? Halimbawa, when we ask our students to engage or participate in a Kahoot game, when we flash the question on the screen, ano yung lilitaw sa device nila? Choices, di ba? Choices na
Yes.
merong different colors. Tama po ba?
Yes.
So, it's
Yes.
easier for them sa halip na basahin yung sobrang daming text or makinig sa atin ng sobrang tagal, instantly they can respond to our activity just by tapping one of the choices to respond, di ba, sa atin. Tapos, they offer various ways of answering activities. Kagaya ng pinakita ni Sir Jello kanina sa CISO. Same with Padlet yung ginagawa ninyo ngayon. Aside from typing your responses, you can actually record your voice to answer. You can even record yourself on video to respond or add web links to it. So, lahat talaga pinoprovide para equal to all. Para equal to all yung ating mga ginagawa. Sir Jello, natandaan mo ba yung app na Flickers?
Yes. Oo.
Ano
Ito
bang
nung
ginagawa ng
print
app na
ka pa.
Flickers?
Oo, parang ano to eh. If kung si Kahoot ay online siya, interactive na ano. Si Flickers medyo low tech accessibility siya. Para pa rin siyang game, pero may printed copy kasi na parang i-scan. So ang kailangan lang is si teacher meron siyang access to the internet, and then minumove lang ng mga bata yung ano. If their choice is A, B, C, and D, so i-move lang nila. Then si teacher i-scan lang yon, and then nakuha na agad kung tama o mali. Yun. So, hopefully magamit na pag bumalik sa mga face-to-face, no? Kasi
Or baka pwede lang experiment ngayon sa
yes,
kung naka-Zoom sila or Google Classroom.
or
Google Classroom. Ayan, kung
Google,
naka-turn
yes.
on, hindi na, halimbawa, naka-mute pa rin yung mga bata, pero naka-turn on yung video ng lahat. Tapos everyone printed their Flickr cards. Yung dinidescribe ni Sir Jello kanina, they just have to flash it on the screen, tapos i-move lang nila ng ganito, ganito. Yan, para sabihin nila A, B, C, D yung sagot nila. Then yung teacher, i-scan lang niya dyan sa kanyang screen. Baka pwedeng experiment natin ngayon yun. Ngayong school year yun para to provide more accessibility sa pag-respond ng mga bata sa ating mga tasks. Ang maganda kanina, Sir Jello, binanggit mo yung Edpuzzle. At alam ko marami ring Edpuzzle. Anong ambassadors?
Edpuzzle coaches. Of course, we have the
Coaches.
Edpuzzle ambassador in the person of Sir Alwin Reclusado and Sir Franco Adun, of course.
Ayun. So, ako, paborito ko tong Edpuzzle kahit dati pa bago pandemic because ang paborito ko dito, yung Edpuzzle, kagaya ng YouTube, it allows the user to rewind or go back to certain portions of the video para i-review o i-master yung part na yon kung hindi nyo naiintindihan. Kasi meron mga learning disability na, di ba, matagal nilang absorb. Actually, even as adults, ganun tayo. Hindi ko na-gets yung part na yon. So, eto, it allows you to go back to these parts para nga makapag-respond ka meaningfully doon sa task na ginawa ng teacher mo. Kaya ito tinawag na classroom response systems. Everyone will gain access, everyone will be able to participate, even yung pinaka-mahiyaing estudyante sa klase na normally do not participate in recitation.
Yes. Oo. Ako naman, i-highlight ko lang, sir, si Flipgrid. Kasi si Flipgrid naman, di ba, usually when we are in a meeting, even in face-to-face or even in online, minsan di ba may mga students tayo na hindi talaga natin natatawag, hindi sila nagre-raise ng hands. So sila ng mga mahiyain, sila ng mga would not want to speak. But Flipgrid helps us to know their thoughts as well. Kasi ito, video or audio response siya. And pwedeng 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 45. So doon pa lang magkakaroon na ng lahat ng equal opportunity to answer that particular question. So doon hindi lang sa classroom na antayin lang natin kung sino nakataas ng kamay, sila lang tatawagin natin. In Flipgrid, if you have a question, you invite everyone to answer and you will see kung sino mga nagsagot, hindi pa nagsagot. So you can actually look into them and try to listen also to their insights.
Mhm. So it's about giving opportunity to all,
Yes.
um, regardless of their condition. So we move now from classroom response systems to online classrooms. Ito yung gagamitin natin na generic term for mga digital portfolios like CISO o kaya mga Google Classroom na hindi technically hindi pa siya fully learning management system but works like a learning management system. And dun sa mga full learning management systems na ginagamit, usually mga paid ng mga eskwelahan ngayon, ano yung mga uh, common accessibility features na meron sa kanila?
Ayan. So, ayun nga rin, sir, many of these are using simplified user interface. And sometimes nga, they even resemble some of the things that we are also familiar of. For example, parang social media na siya, na madali mo naman. Or if you want to have nung mas madali, pwede mo rin siyang i-switch on that. So,
Yeah.
I think all of this, sorry, have this particular feature. And
Yes.
then, of course, varied ways to respond to activities. So, tulad nung sa CISO nakita natin, and even sa ibang mga learning management system natin, and even in Google Classroom, may iba-ibang ways na pwede nating i-utilize. Kanina, while we are waiting to begin, sabi nga ni Sir Franco, many of us might not know we can use the extension mode not just in documents but even in Google Classroom pwede siyang gamitin for instruction or for responses. And then of course then natin the learners may rewind, repeat, review kasi nga accessible nandun naman sa mga devices and nandun sa mga learning management system nila yung mga kailangan nilang gawin or mga tasks nila.
Yes, unlike before na kung nasa traditional classroom ka, kapag na-miss mo na yung sinabi ni teacher, naku, hindi ko na siya ma-recall, ano nga ba yung sinabi niya? Tapos ayaw kang sharean ng mga classmates mo. Kung ganyan. Before, ganun yung situation. But this time, in virtual classes, everything could be available online anytime. So, pwede mong balikan talaga siya. So, medyo talagang nagpo-promote siya ng accessibility to all. And
Yun.
then we go now, teacher Jello, sa favorite mo, tong Google extensions.
Yes, of course, yung mga Google extensions na napakarami nating pwedeng i-utilize actually. Kung sabi nga ni Sir Franco kapag nag-discuss siya ng Google applications, mga tools, if wala pa dyan, let's look into the extension, let's look into the add-ons kasi napakadami no ano pino-provide na rin ni Google. So I think some of them are already discussed or na-shared na ni Miss or I don't know, Stephanie, Miss Stephanie Howell. Okay, the read and write, open dyslexic, stay focused, dualist, magic scroll. You have the voice typing. Of course, you have the mode there, and then Google Form that can be used to students to share without even speaking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think yung iba rin dito ay similar doon sa mga pinakita natin kanina kagaya ng yung taking away yung ads using magic scroll. Parang kanina yung reader view natin, di ba? At saka yung adding audio comments using Mote extension, yung pinakita mo kanina sa Google Docs natin. Ayan, so
Yes.
pwede nilang i-experiment yan at gamitin sa mga klase nila very soon.
Yes. So, yun. Hopefully, magamit nga natin. And again, all of this application, all of these things that we are sharing, as we always say, pick kung ano nang magagamit ninyo. Nung iba, pwede nyo muna i-park. Hopefully, hindi naman kayo na-overwhelmed dun sa task na or mga shinare namin. Pero siguro, I think, Sir Regan, nandito na tayo sa challenge part nila. Kasi, of
Yes.
course, at the end of the day, ang title ng ating ano is to have an Edtech playlist. So, ito nung challenge natin sa kanila.
So our
Yan.
challenge to everyone is to contribute to our accessibility playlist. We have created 2 slides pero syempre you can still add more slides to it. Maglagay tayo teachers ng mga apps na nabanggit natin dito that you find most interesting or most useful to you. And then ilagay po natin yung syempre para malaman natin kung ano yung takeaway natin from today's session, ano yung specific accessibility feature ng app na pinopromote nito. Halimbawa, yung mode and vision ba siya, speech ba siya, hearing ba siya, and then anong platform siya available para naman when others take a look at our playlist, it will be easier for them to download it or to add it on their list. So, meron dyan slide number 30 and slide 31. Please do not delete these slides, but we encourage you to contribute by typing in your your own items.
Yes. Tapos baka malay natin, sir, di ba? Once in nga, one of the project of Kaagapay Teacher Support is really to have accessible edtech playlist. Ito nung ginagawa namin, ito nung gusto namin ma-share sa inyo para ito nung maging go-to ninyo, parang go-to list ninyo. If you want, ay, ito ang kailangan ko. Ano kayang pwedeng application ang pwede kong gamitin? Ito nung need ng mga student ko, ito nung pwede kong i-utilize. So, I think, sir, we will be adding more siguro para, kasi I think marami tayong viewers. I think nasa 182. Wow, thank you po sa mga nanood sa amin, di ba? Pero we'll try to duplicate this one para lahat tayo, we can put in, kung kailangan pa po, pwede rin po natin i-duplicate yan para we can put together this one and then it becomes a good resource for all teachers that would need, okay, some playlists that they will help in or that will help them in their teaching and learning.
Okay, so you already have the link to these Google Slides. We will keep this live even after today's session so you can contribute to our playlist here on slide 30 and 31. And then, siguro, if we'll have the opportunity, we can go back to this resource again in the future so we can update it. And hopefully, this can serve as a reminder for everyone whenever we design our lessons to take into consideration this simple yet very useful and inclusive accessibility features that we already have in the tools that we use in class. So as we close our session today, Sir Jello, we invite everyone to go back to our Padlet wall and let's do this activity. I used to know this visible thinking routine. I used to know, now I know. Please type in your thoughts about the things that you previously believed in, but because of this session, you now have a new insight about it. So let's do this in maybe 2 to 3 minutes, and then
Yes.
let's read some insights from our fellow teachers.
Ayan. So, nandito na po ulit ng ating I used to know, now I know. Maganda rin po to. You can also use this as mga visible thinking routines as part of accessibility and inclusion kasi it will help us understand where the students are coming from, naintindihan ba nila, di ba nila, ano mga bago nilang insights, and then we can further develop that. So again, we invite you to go back po dito sa ating Padlet. And let's add on ano no mga insights po ninyo. I know sa chat box ang dami ng mga insights, sir, eh. Talagang maganda ng mga sharing. So sana i-share and develop rin po natin dito. Dagdagan na rin po natin to. So siguro we give them 2 more minutes.
Yeah. Po. Kagaya ng binanggit ni Ma'am Love Nufable, sabi niya, another learning is to be creative as a teacher. Seryoso yan. Yung imagination natin as a teacher shouldn't stop. Talagang tayo yung laging constantly imagining things and in-experiment natin yung mga imagination na to in class.
Yes. And as we continue to harness these skills, pag tinignan natin, Sir Regan, at the end of the day, ito talaga nung gusto natin eh. We want to help our students. We want to make sure that no one talaga is left behind. And even in these simple tools that we have shared, many of them you might have already know. Di ba? Parang ang dami na, parang mga features na changing of colors lang, or changing the font size, or zoom in, zoom out lang, or the camera, mga simple mga application that we can actually look into it, dig deep, and know that everything that we're doing is really para sa mga bata, and in that way we are actually trying our best to be more inclusive and more accessible to them. Ayan, may nasumagot na, sir.
Correct.
Ayan.
Yan, may mga
Sige,
sumagot na.
yan.
I
About
used
the
to
teaching.
think it was about the teaching. Now it's all
Yes.
about
Learning. That's ayan. Oh, now
Ayan.
I think about
So,
learning.
syempre,
Wow.
learning dapat should be the center of everything that we do. When we design our lessons, we think about learning. When we do assessments, we think about learning, di ba? Yung teaching
Ayan.
lang is the process of facilitating learning.
Yes, correct. Ito pa from Ma'am Mary Joy Celeste. Maximize different learning platform or tools to promote inclusive education. So tulad ng binabanggit parati natin dito sa KTS, hindi po siya sa padamihan. Minsan hindi naman kailangan ng masyado madami. Minsan kailangan lang yung malalim na paggamit at purposeful, meaningful use of what you already have been using. And you might not know it, marami na pala tayong na babahagi or nagiging inclusive na pala tayo doon sa ating mga estudyante.
Yes, gusto ko yung binanggit mo na purposeful because
Yes.
halimbawa nga yung binanggit mo na as simple as using yung tamang contrast sa ating PowerPoint presentation like light background and dark text color o kaya naman dark background and light text color yun kasi you're doing it because alam mo you are aware that you have 2 or 3 students na hirap sa vision nila. So that's something na purposeful. Hindi yun yung hindi ako marunong gumawa ng PowerPoint kaya simple lang yung ginagawa ko. No, simple lang yung ginagawa ko because I'm trying to accommodate my students who have difficulty in vision. Kagaya ng slides na ginawa natin kanina, na ginamit natin kanina, if you have noticed teachers, sobrang simple lang niya, di ba? White background, then you have the text there, a bloody red font color, and then blue na contrast naman sa kanya para madaling makita, ma-distinguish yung mga text from one another. Tapos, very limited lang din yung mga images na ilagay namin unless it's really related to the idea presented on the slide. So, yun yung mga gusto natin makita sa atin ngayon during this virtual learning. Simplify because there is a purpose for simplifying it. Hindi dahil hindi ka magaling gumawa ng PowerPoint presentation.
Yes. Ayan, meron din dito. Sir, knowing tech fundamentals will give us steps ahead from our students. Ano masabi mo dun, sir? Balik ko lang.
Balikan.
Ayan. Knowing tech fundamentals will give us steps ahead from our students.
Oo naman kasi fundamentals meaning yung mga basics or common, yun talaga yung lahat dapat ay binabalikan natin. Tsaka when everything goes wrong, doon tayo babalik ulit sa fundamentals natin. Para ma-achieve natin yung learning outcome na dinedesire natin for the class. Ayan, binanggit din ng isang teacher natin, si Teacher Agnes, sabi niya, I used to know tools on online learning is for students who is able in all aspects. Now I know that tools for online learning is also accessible for students with disabilities. Should also be made accessible for students with disabilities or challenges.
Yes.
Oo, kasi nga sinasama natin sa mainstream. Yun yung in-encourage tayong lahat na isama sa mainstream para hindi nila ma-feel na kakaiba sila. Kasi hindi naman talaga sila kakaiba. Dahil almost everyone has a challenge, di ba? Physical challenge, visual challenge, kagaya ng binanggit natin kanina.
Okay. Yun. So, mga teachers, dear teachers, dagdag lang po tayo. Again, these are working and live documents, pwede nyo pong i-access sila every now and then to add on to it and we learn from each other. Siguro, ako, Sir Ryan, to end siguro our discussion, meron ako nakita dito sa chat box na yun nga, medyo mahirap, especially for our teachers who are in the public school because siguro the access, yung parang medyo dreamy, sabi nga, the term of Sir Ruel, medyo dreamy in the public schools. Pero I would like to applaud the effort that we will try our best for our students. So, um, kahit simple lang po, hindi naman natin sinabi na agad-agad parang lahat ng lesson may ano. Pero paunti-unti, simple, kahit very simple. Kahit sabi nga ni Sir Regan, fundamentals. Kahit very simple lang siya. Kahit doon sa module natin, instead na just plain text, baka pwede kayo mag-add ng picture that will help them understand. Or, yun nga, highlighting, bigyan ng bagong kulay or i-bold natin, palakihin natin yung word, can already have an effect to our students. So, I know medyo challenging for our public school teachers, especially napapasok pa rin tayo, pero I always believe that our teachers have always that heart for their students and they will always try their best to do that. So, one step at a time. Hindi naman po kailangan lahat, hindi naman po kailangan lahat ng mga naituro natin or naibigay namin ay gamitin natin to. Pwedeng unti-unti, pa isa-isa, pa dalawa-dalawa. And ang mahalaga is maramdaman na ating mga students na we care for them, we don't want them to be left behind, we try our best to be inclusive and to be accessible to them and build that relationship. Kasi feeling ko, yun yung bottom line ng bakit natin to dinidiscuss eh. At the end of the day, it's actually our relationship with our students that will help us uh, learn or will help them also learn and will help us connect with them and learning will happen eventually in that. Yun yung sa akin, Sir Regan.
Gusto ko yan.
Sa'yo.
Gusto ko yung binasa ko ulit yung comment ni Sir Roel sa Lulog na yes, for perhaps for the public school teachers and public school students tong discussions about different apps, mga digital tools ay parang dreaming nga, no? Pero alam mo, sa totoo lang, as a teacher, kahit nasa private din ako nagturo, ay na-excite ako gumawa ng mga modules kahit na print. Kasi given this experience and knowledge that we have about inclusion and accessibility, parang mas na-excite ako ngayon na mag-incorporate ng kagayang binanggit mo kanina, na this time, I will be more cautious about using text size, using text style, font style in my module. O kaya naman, after developing my modules, yung mga print modules, mag-isip pa rin ako ng paraan as a teacher, how else can I make this knowledge or this learning experience accessible to my students? Baka pwede akong mag-record ng sarili ko, tapos I make it available via YouTube, halimbawa, which is publicly available for free. O kaya naman, baka naman pwede ako mag-record ng sarili ko on audio, tapos mag-create ako ng podcast to augment what has already been prepared in my print modules. O kaya naman, baka naman meron akong friends o kaya meron akong mga colleagues in our school who can contribute in enhancing, redefining yung learning experience na ginawa ko sa module by providing illustrations. Diba? Pwede rin naman yun na mag-create ako ng Instagram account para i-augment yung mga lessons namin sa module ko na okay, students, kung may internet connection kayo, pwede nyo puntahan ito. Kung wala naman, I can send you, halimbawa, USB para kopyahin ninyo itong mga video files o kaya itong mga illustrations na create ng mga fellow teachers ko in relation to the modules that we have developed for you. So, ang dami pa rin talagang ways. Ang key is, ang paborito kong word dyan ay paglaruan. Paglaruan purposefully, kagaya ng sinabi ni Sir Jello. Paglaruan mo siya dahil the possibilities are endless. Yung paborito ko kasi yung low-tech edtech eh. Kahit na nasa Apple technology kami. Paborito ko pa rin yung low-tech edtech kasi nandun yung challenge mismo. Using our imagination, using our creativity, doon talaga lalabas yun. Ang saya sa totoo lang. Even ako na-excite akong gumamit ng mga Manila paper pa rin up to now. Partly na gusto kung public school teacher ako ngayon, siguro magsasawa sila sa, ano ba to si sir? Parang kung ano yung mga pinapagawa sa amin. That's because I want to include everyone. Kagaya ng lahat ng tinakil natin tonight.
Siguro, sir, hopefully, no, ng ating mga teachers, wag po tayong panghinaan ng loob dahil mahirap. Pero I think nakita ko to kay Sir Franco. Tanungin natin din bakit natin ginagawa ito. Ano nung purpose? Ano ba nung why natin? And I think it's always to help our students and to be there for them and to make them feel that we are here despite of the many things, many challenges. And in that particular way, we will be inclusive and accessible to them. So siguro ako yun sa akin, Sir Regan.
Sir Jello,
Uh,
siguro one of the mission ng KPS this time is to collect mga low-tech, edtech materials ng ginawa ng mga fellow teachers natin in the community. Baka it would be a good idea to exhibit din yung mga ginagawa natin sa mga print modules natin. Ano bang klase ng print modules yung meron tayo ngayon? At paano natin siya i-enhance after a school year? Diba? Alam na natin experience natin last year eh. So this time, ano yung level up natin? Ano yung attempt natin to redefine learning dito sa uh, remote learning program natin sa eskwelahan. So baka yun yung gusto natin, pwede nating i-explore next time para hindi tayo
yes.
nakasentro sa dreamy environment. Kasi for me, yung dreamy environment na yan, lahat yun achievable.
Yun. I think, Sir Regan, the next speaker that we will be having is someone that will discuss that eh. Next Saturday yata eh. Baka papasok na rin
Perfect.
sila. Oo.
Perfect pala.
Yan no. I think, ayan na oh.
Hello, Sir Jello and Sir Regan. Thank you. Maraming salamat. Let's just put in Teacher Pao. Okay? I think na-cover na no yung pati yung ano natin na-address din naman ni Sir Jello at Teacher Sir Regan no yung ating mga questions ng mga teachers natin pati mga insights nila actually. It's really ano no like a complete discussion. They even summarized everything already. So talagang fully organized no well organized sessions. No, thank you so much Sir Angelo. Ang daming feedback sa ating chat no about the new tools you've included. But perhaps no, what I really like about how you presented the tools today is that it's actually presented in a more thematic way. No, it's not like these are the only tools as you can use, okay, but rather you actually presented these are the things we have to consider when we're thinking about inclusivity and accessibility, and these are the things you have to consider about it, and these are the possible tools that we can use. Okay, so it's not always okay, that hindi siya ano, like ito lang yung mga tools na pwedeng gamitin. That's what I really like. Okay? Teacher Pao?
Yes, oo. So agree ako doon, no. You've presented the principles behind, no, how to make it inclusive. Plus, you ensured na magagawa siya, achievable siya. Yes, oo, dreamy. Pero kasi napakita nyo where it is, no. You've very interactive actually tong ano, very busy yung mga teacher. Di lang siya nakaupo, di ba? Nag-open siya ng Padlet, nagsusulat siya sa Google Slides, nape-present yung responses, napaprocess niya yung responses. So, very, very, ano siya, yun nga, sabi natin, buong buo. Actually, pasara na eh. Pasara na tong webinar natin, no? Kasi nag-last words din naman sila, no? But it's really very, it's really very, refreshing to see, no? Especially when Sir Reagan mentioned about that we can actually survive with low-tech edtech tools. You know, kasi ngayon na nag-online distance learning, syempre nag-boom lahat ng mga apps, lumabas lahat yan, kailangan online, ganon. Pero throughout the presentation, they presented variety and even really try to find options where offline is available. So I think that's also being considered, no, in inclusivity. Yung offline kasi meron talagang demarcation line yung education natin between online and offline learning, no. So but you've captured it really. So thank you so much for sharing all those.
You and of course no, to show appreciation okay, to both of you, okay, we'd like to present this certificate of appreciation okay, for your sharing your expertise. and your insights on tools for accessibility and inclusivity. Teacher Pao, would you mind reading the
Sure,
citation?
always. The privilege of presenting the Certificate of Appreciation to Mr. Reagan Austria for sharing his knowledge and expertise in the recently concluded webinar entitled Edtech Playlist Tools for Accessibility and Inclusion, signed by the Kaagapay Administrator, Sir Jambi, myself, your co-speaker, Sir Jello, and Sir Franco Adun. Yes! Alright, and of course, syempre hindi naman mawawala ang certificate natin para kay Sir Jello, no, for sharing also his valuable time with us. Thank you so much.
And maraming salamat and we'll now of course nagbigay naman na ng final message si Sir Regan saka si Sir Jello, no. Pero teachers, no, of course wag natin kakalimutan that Sir Regan, no, Sir Jello will always be here, no. At actually sa pinakamagandang ginawa nila is that there is continuity. Hindi po sila natapos lang sa session na to, no. Actually they provided you a space, no, for you to be able to contribute to an ever growing resource for edtech tools, if it's for inclusivity and accessibility. Sana po makakontribute po tayo at may pagpatuloy po natin yan. Okay? So again, maraming salamat Sir Regan and Sir Jello, no, for that presentation. Okay? So of course, we'll now bid goodbye now to Sir Regan. Okay? Sir Regan, are there still final words or anything you'd like to communicate or remind? Maybe there are programs, okay, that you'd also like to invite our teachers, okay?
Yes, maybe thank you Sir Franco, Sir Pao, Sir Jello again. Thank you sa tanan. Maybe pwede kong invite yung mga teachers, mga co-teachers natin to visit our Instagram and Facebook accounts. It's at Senko Schools. So you will have an idea of the things that we've been doing among the different private schools. Hindi to mga necessarily malaking private schools. Pero again, doon sa aming accounts, share din po kami ng mga lesson ideas doon na hindi lang siya puro Apple, hindi lang din siya puro high-tech, edtech, meron din mga low-tech, edtech, mga ideas doon. So please take a look at Senko Schools on Instagram and on Facebook. Thank you again. Ingat, pirme.
Thank you, Sir Regan. No? Okay, so teachers, okay, will now say goodbye to Sir Regan, and definitely it's not going to be the last. Okay, pangatlong beses niya dito sa Kaagapay Teacher Support, and he will he always say yes, no, to our teachers. Okay, talaga napaka-generous po ni Sir Regan. Talagang maraming salamat, Sir Regan, for your time and expertise. So we'll now park now at the backstage, Sir Regan. Okay. So teachers, okay, will now, of course, before po tayo mag-present ng ating evaluation link, we'd like to invite everyone, okay, for our last session, okay, our closing session, okay, on the 28th. That's going to be on Saturday, okay. So hindi natin tayo i-solve, okay. Siyempre mahirap i-solve yung problema ng low bandwidth. Ang pinaka-solution talaga dyan ay magtatayo po ako ng kumpanya ko para sa libreng internet connection, okay, na may 1 gigabyte speed, 1 gigabyte talaga. Gigabits, no? Gigabits per second po yung speed ng company ko. Yun po talaga yung solution din. Pero ngayon, habang wala pa talaga tayong solution, no, for a faster internet, okay, we'll try to do workarounds. Okay, what are the things that we can try in order to be able to navigate in limited connectivity for distance learning, as well as siguro yung lack of internet connection. Okay, so I hope to see you all on Saturday, no, to close our August series, okay, with this session on low bandwidth education. Para po mas lalo pa nating mas mapalawak, mas mapalalim ang inclusivity in education, lalo na for distance learning na nakasalalay po yung madami sa internet connection. Okay? So, yeah, teachers, I hope that you can join me on Saturday. Okay. So, Teacher Pao and Teacher Jello, our evaluation link now, we'll see na kung nag-work ba siya. Okay. Syempre, napalagay ako ng QR code, no? Kasi mamaya, maano ako in terms of accessibility and inclusivity, no? By the way, Sir Jello, yan ang itsura ng QR code if it's generated right from Chrome. Meron siya nung dinosaur na nilalaro natin kapag offline ang Chrome natin. Yes. Okay. Para diretso na. Okay. You can actually go and do that. Okay, Teacher Pao, thank you. Maraming salamat. Okay. So, Admin, any other insights, thoughts, or reminders that you'd like to send our teachers?
Basically, with what Sir Jello and Sir Reagan has mentioned, kayang-kaya. Actually, yun yung nakuha ko eh. Kayang-kaya nating gawin na inclusive yung education natin. So just have to, be guided by the principles every time. Yun lang yun. Kung bakit mo siya gagawin, kung para saan mo siya gagawin, everything has a purpose and you will find ways. Definitely, definitely.
Yes, no, important yun. No, maraming salamat, Teacher Pau, for that reminder. Sir Jello, any final reminders or any message to our teachers?
I think yun nga, one of the things that may dishearten us is we might not have all these particular tools and everything, pero parati po tayo may magagawa. Sabi nga, pag gusto natin, parating may paraan. So gagawa at gagawa ang mga teachers natin ng paraan para mas mailapit at mas maging inclusive, mas maging accessible itong education natin sa ating mga learners. Because at the end of the day, it is our learners who would be able to parang get out of it, 'di ba? Parang isang malaking tulong sa kanila na tayo mismo hindi tayo nag-give up sa kanila. And hopefully, itong mga na-share namin would be helpful to you. Pero at the end of the day, parating ano pa rin tayo, purposeful and meaningful integration of technology would be one of the key. And of course, our relationship with our students is another. So, yun lang po na sa akin.
Yes, thank you. Maraming salamat, Sir Jello. And siguro, let our group, no, our Kaagapay Teacher Support be an example of accessibility. We will keep on providing you know, free opportunities, okay, to learning opportunities like this, okay. So let's just keep on going and keep on also promoting inclusivity and accessibility for all your students as well. Okay, so maraming salamat, teachers. Okay, and we'll see you on Saturday for our last session for the August series. Okay. Paalam po. Maraming salamat. Have a nice evening, teachers.